Listening to The Joe Cronin Show. The Joe Cronin Show.
The Joe Cronin Show.
I hope you hang your mother. This country sucks! This place sucks! CNN masturbated all fucking day. Dude, I will eat your fucking asshole out and then spit it into your mouth, baby bird style. Who wants to go? Call the show. I'll fuck your ass! I want to kill myself! If I think it sucks, I tell you!
The Joe Cronin Show.
Give it a hell yeah!
No, Hunter, that is not what I want. I want you with your pants down, one arm tied behind your back, sledgehammer fully lubed, and say yes, Dave, I'm ready for the Batista bomb. I swear this show stopped trying after RKO memes 3/10.
Hello. Oh, there we go. Oh, apparently only one channel works on this mixer. All right, so what's up, everybody? I'm sorry, I kind of ran into an emergency situation here. How's everybody doing after Raw? You guys ready for the Raw review? I don't know. So yeah, I apologize. Apparently my mixer. So I'm using a backup mixer because my other mixer broke the other day, as I told you. I got this backup mixer, and by all accounts, this backup mixer is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, but it doesn't work. I just plugged this headset into 3 different channels, and none of the channels would work, no matter what I did. So apparently, this mixer, the backup mixer, doesn't work too well either. The only channel that works for microphones is channel 2, and I don't know why that is. So there's definitely something wrong there. So I apologize for the late start. But, yeah, something is definitely wrong with this mixer. Hey, Jake, what's up?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah. On top of that, right before I realized that my mixer wasn't working right, my microphone broke. So
oh, fantastic.
The holder broke. So here we are.
Yeah, you get the Mr. Kennedy mic going on there. Got to drop it from the ceiling.
Yeah, I know. I could pick it up and try to, like, leverage it and talk like that, but I just didn't want to do that, so I grabbed this headset. And, I always thought there was a reason why I stopped using this mixer, and I couldn't remember what it was. I'm like, why did I stop using this fucking mixer? Why did I do that? It's so beautiful. I mean, there are some effects that aren't on it that are on the other one, but that's what it is. It's fried. So,
yeah, only that second channel is working.
Gonna get a new mixer. Thanks to you guys after the other show the other night. The Sunday night gaming stream was nuts. But here we are on Monday Night Raw, and
Yeah, people love that wheel.
yeah, what was that? That was crazy. I'm definitely going to do it next week again, but we have to shout out the winner. Do you know who the winner?
Absolutely.
Did you ever get to see who the winner is, Jake? I don't know.
I
if you
didn't get
did.
to see the ending yet, so
It's so
I'm
long.
excited to find out.
Well,
I know Broken Lion was holding strong.
Broken Lion won.
Did he? Oh, look at that.
Broken Lion came back at the end after he was losing again.
Yeah, because he was holding strong for a long time.
So we have to give love to, ladies and gentlemen, the king of the wheel this week, Broken Lion, in the chat and in the community for a long time. So Broken Lion is this week's sex machine, this week's king of the wheel, no doubt about it, of the community, king of the community, king of the ring, Broken Lion. It was crazy. So Shayna Baszler, they had the first lesbian scene we've ever seen. It was pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
she went and drew some blood. She went straight Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe that they let her do that live on camera. But yeah, they did, and look at the results. You know what I mean?
She was trained by Vic Joseph, the vampire man himself,
God,
Nosferatu.
aren't you worried now that they said that on air, that here comes the vampire gimmick with Baszler?
A few people shared that sentiment, and I said, so long as this is a one-off and she doesn't finish every match biting into people, I hope that's not the case.
I don't know, man. Taking that
Make her the next Gangrel. They'll bring back the Brood, you know?
Yeah, they'll have the female. Well, everything is they're doing female everything nowadays. So now
That'll be their answer for the Dark Order, you know?
Yeah, they'll be the broody,
Yeah, the Broody.
and they'll take off their mouthpieces and bite people.
Oh,
I
God.
mean, I will say that, you know, in a way, that wouldn't be the worst thing because, you know, I mean, I am kind of sick of, you know, every, like, the MMA tough guy thing that everybody seems to have. So, we'll see what happens. Sometimes Vince has good ideas, but you know Vince is, you know, but I liked what they did tonight. I liked that they got blood, like, in that vicious way. Like, that was kind of cool. I didn't like anything with the Becky Lynch stuff going into the ambulance. Why is she driving herself in an
They're
ambulance?
working hard to get her sympathy. She gets attacked.
But she drove herself in an ambulance.
That's what I'm saying. So if you know she's bleeding and she's swearing, she looks like she's in legitimate pain, and the crowd is you know sympathetic for her. They can go ahead and feel bad. Oh wow, she was attacked brutally. That's horrible. Even with the fake blood pouring out, like it still had a good effect to it. And then with her having to be the female Stone Cold, or as Diva Bible says, the female lukewarm, she goes ahead and why does she have to drive herself to the hospital? And there was no one there that could have put gauze on her neck and let her drive. You know, she takes the ambulance back. And I always hate when they do that. You know, they did it with Dean with the police vehicle and the shield. And why do you have to take the vehicles back? It was different when Austin drove in because he had access to all these vehicles, but he wasn't taking them and then coming back. And I don't know.
No, but
that makes it silly.
But if Stone Cold took a vehicle, it was like he stole a vehicle. Like, and you almost
exactly.
You almost imagined that off camera he had lawsuits and things like that going on. But with Becky, it seems
fit
like
his character in the realm of believability.
Yeah, but with Becky, it just seems like they allowed her to take the ambulance.
Exactly. Like,
makes
you know,
no sense.
she stole it, and then they're like, "Oh, well, you need to ride back, right? We'll let you.
Yeah.
We'll
Oh, yeah,
let you
just take
it
our
back.
ambulance.
You're not going to
That's-
get in trouble for stealing it."
Yeah, Steve Austin would have knocked out the ambulance drivers or thrown them away and then grabbed the ambulance. And then they would have been like, what's he doing? What? Why is he taking... He stole an ambulance. Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's driving himself to the hospital and he stole an ambulance. You know, there's something like that. It wouldn't be like, oh, she's taking herself to the hospital. Like, it was just so different. It's not the same thing. It's cringy. You know what it reminds me of is a good comparison of what we're talking about here is basically the Becky the Charlotte promo. What the fuck was that Charlotte promo with whatever her face is, Rhea Ripley? That was awful.
That was really bad.
What
Unfortunately,
the fuck was that, dude? Listen to this. I mean, you won't be able to hear this, Jake, but everybody, this is 22 seconds long. Listen to this.
Maybe that's just how the queen operates.
Maybe that's just how the queen operates. I'm gonna reread this for everybody.
Maybe that's just how the queen operates.
Or maybe you just enjoy being a royal pain in my...
Maybe that's just how the queen operates. Or maybe that's just that you're a royal pain in my... Whoa. Like, how fucking dumb and lame was that? Like, so scripted, like that the bad guy or whoever the bad guy here is interrupts the other person to save them from swearing as the other person slowly trails off what they're saying to set that up, like, for each other. That's all I got out of that, and it was awful. This is dead already. Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley is dead. Like, oh, maybe you're a royal pain in my... Whoa. Like, what?
And they had an easy way to set it up with Charlotte not having to choose yet because she doesn't know if Rhea Ripley's still going to be champion. Fine. That works out. That makes sense. You can stay with that narrative. That builds towards the NXT TakeOver Sunday. That's smart. Everything else they said was just a disaster.
Yeah, this was
it felt beyond scripted. It was so poorly written.
It was embarrassingly. This is embarrassingly written. I swear to God, that was the worst thing on Raw. So I'm starting off tonight pretty much with the worst thing on Raw. The worst thing was Charlotte and Rhea Ripley's promo. It is horrible. Like, it is embarrassing. That is disgustingly stupid. There is no defense whatsoever. And I'll play it again because I just can't stop listening to the fact that somebody allowed this to be what they say. And it's all written. That's the problem. This isn't like, oh, what they did was goofy or it didn't come off right. This is what they wrote this.
Maybe that's just how the queen operates.
Or maybe you just enjoy being a royal pain in my...
Before I answer your question, Rhea, consider my question. After your title match...
Listening to Charlotte talk is like watching animals be raped. Listening to Rhea Ripley, like, royal pain in my whoa. Like, that is enraging to listen to. That is so bad. Like, it is so bad. Bad. I want to choke somebody at WWE. Like, I want to find out who allowed that or anybody who thought that was good. I mean, I'm talking about, like, are you out there defending this? Are you out there defending this, Chris? Are you out there defending this, Sean? Are you out there defending this, even Road Dogg? I know you're down at NXT. This has nothing to do with Road Dogg, but anybody defending this, like, has to be a retard. Like, that is some of the worst writing and dialogue and exchange that maybe I've ever heard. And I wish I had a photo of it because I want a photo of it so I can just tweet at WWE relentlessly that they should be embarrassed because that was so fucking horrible. And the Becky Lynch stuff isn't good either, really, but that was just unforgivable.
Yeah, you go from cannibalism to robot,
Right. I mean, I liked
the spectrum.
But I liked Baszler showing up, and I liked what they did with Becky. I just didn't. I don't know if I liked the whole. If they didn't have the ambulance thing, they just had her taken in the back. You know, they didn't even have to send her out by ambulance, and then she still could have, if they really wanted her to cut that promo later, could have done so. And I think that would have been more effective for sympathy from the fans. That whole ambulance stint, they're trying to force her to look like the badass, and she doesn't need to be. It just doesn't work. All they needed...
It doesn't make sense. It's not logical.
All they needed was her to literally be, like, taken away to be looked at and for her to show back up again. They didn't need to go with driving an ambulance.
Yeah, none of that. Just have her go to the medical room, get it gauzed up, and then come back out and cut your promo.
Right.
That's it. People like, they didn't clean the blood off at the hospital or anything. The hospital never does that. You know how many times I've been stitched without them cleaning a drop of blood? They send you home.
Yeah.
So that's not the issue. But with her having to go ahead and take that friggin' ambulance, it's just because they want her. She even finished the match with Asuka with the rock bottom. I don't know if you noticed that, but
yeah, basically, yeah.
They're trying to harken her back as much as possible, and it doesn't work. When you have to question everything, that's the problem. It takes you out of it. There's only so many times you can really stretch your imagination and suspend disbelief.
This promo was. I'm going to play it again.
Maybe that's just how the queen operates.
Or maybe you just enjoy being a royal pain in my...
Before I answer your question, Rhea, consider my question. After your title match...
It's so fucking horrible. Like, these two, this has got to be, I don't know, I'm irritated, man. I'm just waking up, too. Raw put me into a lull.
I didn't mind a good portion of tonight. I was actually enjoying it. It was going by quickly. There was, nothing outrageous, nothing amazing. Still doesn't quite feel like WrestleMania season, but it wasn't boring either. I didn't have that urge to immediately, change the channel. That compulsion of shut this shit off.
Oh God, I did.
I honestly didn't feel that way. Like I said, I'm not, overselling it and saying like, oh, it was an outstanding night. No, but the opening I thought was pretty solid. It was nothing new, but everybody did well. And I liked the Becky and Asuka match. I think that was one of the better matches they've had. That to me was better than the Rumble. I liked that match far better than what they gave us at the Rumble.
I liked it. It was pretty good. The thing that ruined it was all the commercial breaks for me. I was like, oh no, 3 commercial breaks during this thing. Like,
yeah, that was an issue. But no, I mean, for the way they broke up the action, I felt like it fit that commercial, break well.
Yeah, it was okay. It was definitely the best thing. Like the Asuka versus Becky. I don't think there was anything better than, I mean, Drew and MVP started kind of, it was in and out, cringy and awesome. I mean, it really was. But
same thing with the Street Profits, and it was just quick, and their promo was better than what we usually get from them. Mm-hmm. It made sense, and they had some humor in it, and it was nothing too egregious. It wasn't their SNL BS.
Right.
It was just straightforward. Some small jokes, and then they get right into the match. The match is quick, and then after the match, we get the quick betrayal. Moss screwing over Rawley, so Mojo loses the title, and now them two are going to feud. So that's a good setup for that. I kind of feel bad for Mojo, but hopefully they don't go back to the hide and seek title with the 24/7 thing.
Oh God, they're probably going to.
I think they want to just have a feud set for Mojo. It seems like so that they can actually battle over the belt.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's where they're going with it, because that's what they were really trying to set up.
Well, let me go to the donations here real quick and see what people are saying early on here. While give me a second to fix my mic here a little bit and to down this coffee that I have in front of me, because I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me, but this show just destroyed me. Like I did not like tonight. I mean, I think it was a little bit better, in all honesty, than some of the other shows we've seen. Like, it wasn't a 3. I thought it was maybe a 4.5 or 5, but
painkiller cough syrup helps.
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
I can't deny it.
Maybe that's what it is. I mean, I wish I
maybe
was
that's
on
just
something.
Genuinely why I'm in a better mood. Just codeine.
Yeah, and I'm just legit tired from the show. So like I don't, maybe that's what it is. And plus, yeah, I don't know. Your mood your mood makes these Raws sometimes breaks them a little bit. Like it really does.
Absolutely. If you come in frustrated.
By the way, not to back up real quick before I play a donation, I thought SmackDown was decent. I gave SmackDown a 5 out of 10.
SmackDown was a more complete show, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, they really they had this little tightened up little executed well show that I didn't love or anything above anything that's been done necessarily before, but they tried all these little things. They had all these little moments. Corbin in the truck, this and that. Like, and I was like, oh, this is, they really tried to do some things this show. I don't think they really. I mean, it was all PG and kind of whatever, but at least they sort of were always moving on something, and the pacing was good, and they had all these different little things going on. So I gave SmackDown kind of a 5 out of 10, and I was like, I was okay. I mean, that 5 out of 10 is not very good, I guess, but for me, it's a lot better than it had been. Yeah. So compared to tonight, would you say? And this is a question for the chat too. This is a question for you guys. I'd love to hear what you guys are saying, because I'm giving you my my opinion on this stuff without knowing what really other people think. I think SmackDown Friday was better than this Raw tonight. I mean,
I'm trying to think back to some of the other matches, but yeah, because the women's match wasn't great, the Fatal 4-Way.
On SmackDown?
On SmackDown, but
I don't think there was any. Was there really any good matches? I don't even know if there was a good match.
I don't think so.
I would say that Becky and Asuka was
that was, and I wasn't looking forward to that coming into tonight, and for them to sell me on it and turn me around, especially on matches we've seen so many times, that gets a little bit of extra credence for me. So
It's sad we're happy for a 5 out of 10. No shit,
Yeah,
right?
that's what we're aiming for. We're so used to being abused that any little bit of satisfaction is exemplary. But yeah, I mean, SmackDown, all in all, I see your point. It was the more put together show. It had a better flow overall. Problem is Raw, as soon as it derails, it's a screeching halt. So you get a really good forward momentum, and then all of a sudden they cut you off, and it's hard to recover.
I mean,
that's what the 3 hours does.
Yeah, that's the thing. Was Raw is too goddamn long, but if someone is bad, it really feels like you're getting like molested. But yeah, I mean, like I would give Raw tonight. I'd give this a 3 out of 10. I do not like Raw tonight. I don't like this show. I don't know what the fuck there is to like about this. Really, we'll go down the list of things to talk about tonight on Raw. But again, I thought SmackDown was better. And maybe that's the third hour murdering me and the commercial breaks killing everything. I mean, dude, we literally just got the same main event for the millionth time tonight. That was the dumbest thing ever. I mean, listen.
Yeah, that's been Raw's problems. You know, one of their main problems for ages now is the same people facing each other in different ways. You know, whether it's a 6-man or a 4-man or an 8-man tag, they do that all the time and pick and choose. So we'll do 3-on-3, then we'll do 4-on-4, then we'll do 2-on-2, but it's always the same people. So yeah, that's been an issue for, I want to say like the mid 2018. That's when that really started to become heavy-handed. Yeah, that's always an issue. But we knew going in tonight that was going to be the match we were getting. I just wish it wasn't the main event.
Yeah, it was the wrong timing. It was like that's you because you're looking forward to like what's it going to be to end the show tonight. Oh, that again? Fuck this. I guarantee the third hour tonight is a shit show number.
Oh, like, I think it'll drop down by a great deal. I agree with you there. Had they opened with the promo the way they did and then led right into the match, I think that would have serviced the show better.
I don't know if it helped. I don't know if it hurt me, but I slept. Like I was up all night and then I was doing work in the morning and then I went to bed at 11 a.m. Like I went to bed in the afternoon today, and I woke up right before Raw, and I started watching Raw like. In a coma, like I started.
In a
like
state.
I was watching Raw like okay, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I get 8 hours of sleep, but throughout the 8 hours of sleep, I woke up. So, like I stayed up all night. I did some work I had to do this morning. I talked to the plumber. I did some accounting stuff I had to do. I paid some bills. I set up some auto payments. I spoke to collectors. I spoke to this. I worked with I got my kids. I helped Leah with the kids. They're going to school. I hung out with Finn because my youngest is the only one that's in the house, during the day. And, then about 11 o'clock, he took a nap. I took a nap. But about 2 o'clock when the kids came home from school, I woke up. And then I went back to sleep again. And then they woke me up again, because they needed me for something, and so I did. I woke up to help them. And then I got a call at like 4, and I woke up again. So I was woken up 4 times in a 7-hour sleeping, whatever, after being up for 20-something hours. So maybe that didn't do well when I turn on Raw first thing as I wake up, and I'm staring at it like this, and I'm just like, and I'm watching this Raw, and it's putting me back to sleep. All I wanted to do in the second hour of Raw was go back to bed. And I was like, you can't go back to bed. You can't go back to bed. This is murdering me. You got to go back to bed. So I think the state that I'm in, I think if I was in a joyous drinking state, like let's say I just won the lottery. Say I just won $10 million. And I had gotten a great sleep in the morning, and I woke up at 10 a.m. after a huge night of sleep, and I was just wide awake all day, and went outside in the sunshine, and I had a great time. And then I turned on Raw after winning $10 million, and I watched this Monday Night Raw tonight. I'd probably watch it with a bit of a smile. Probably watch it like, yeah, man, they're trying. They're trying to do it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of what they used to do with Stone Cold with Becky. She's so feisty, and it's really cool. Shayna Baszler showed up tonight, and she fucking bit Becky's neck, man. She had blood all over her face. It was nuts. And then, the Monday Night Messiah in the main event again, and the Viking Raiders are there, and hell, Viking Raiders trained me. Chris Hansen, or the Hansen, he trained me. I'm so happy for the guy that trained me or that taught me years ago. how to do some things in professional wrestling. I'm so happy he's in the main event on Raw. Wow, like in the Viking Raiders and their War Machine and how they got to this level. And Samoa Joe and them, they just suicide dive out of the ring. That moment was great. The crowd was popping. And my God, Samoa Joe is not suspended. All the little wrestling websites that said he was suspended, all because of WrestleVotes, and then WrestleVotes apologizes. But why don't they apologize for the 100 other times they were wrong? We'll never know. Randy Orton came out tonight, and he finally was going to address the situation, and then out comes Matt Hardy, and he was like the old Matt Hardy in that sort of HBK role, like, why did you do it? And Matt Hardy brings up the Lita situation, and it was crazy that he talked about that, but he said how he really still cared for Edge because of the situation, and then Randy's so cold he takes out Matt Hardy, and that may be the last time that we ever see Matt Hardy, and that was a segment that I was looking forward to, and I like that. So if I was like that, in that type of mood where I just won $10 million and I was having a couple beers and things were going pretty well, I might have been like, yeah, that was a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 show. That was all right. That was a nice little Raw there. They really sort of built some things, I guess, and whatever. So there's the optimistic, I'm wide awake and I just won $10 million review. But, in reality to me, I just thought that there wasn't enough to make me think that this was anything really. It was just so discombobulated, because beyond that, it's nothing. It's nothing. I need more. I can't watch it like that anymore. I don't watch it from that sort of casual, like, I'm easy to please mentality. I watch things from, like, show me something. Like,
you need a bit of conviction and further develop storytelling. That's why I like what they're doing with McIntyre, because they're showing different shades of his personality at this time, which is making him even more of a likable babyface. All the women want to swallow him, and all the men want to be him. I mean, that's he's got that just warming personality where he smiles and everybody melts. And it's doing a great job for him. The 3-2-1 Claymore is extremely over, and tonight he got to showcase a bit of his, like, free-spirited, sillier side. So each week they're showing just different shades of him and who he is as a babyface, and it's cementing that role even further. Him joking around with the WrestleMania sign, so that was good. That interaction was great. He got to explain more of his motivations besides his family and his long journey. He got to talk about other things, and that was good. And he showed a bit of nobility by, not accepting MVP's offer. And so it's more depth to the person that we want to root for. But like you said, with other characters, you get nothing. You get absolutely nothing. You get a bloody mouth. And that worked for tonight because that was the introduction of it. But that's not something you can continue with every single week. So hopefully they have more planned for Baszler. But
yeah, I mean,
like you said, if they actually put time into the characters and allowed people to develop themselves further, it would be more intriguing and interesting. Sadly, they throw people out there like lambs to slaughter. You have Sarah Logan say, I'm going to protect my turf, even though she's lost everything that she's ever done in that ring, which makes no sense. It's not your ring, and you're delusional if you think otherwise. So she's not playing a lunatic like she was, though. You don't want to see these, a lot of these people out there. We haven't seen Cedric Alexander in months, so why are we going to care if Angel Garza destroys him? That's the issue.
Yeah, so he's just basically the Andrade villain.
Yeah, Aleister Black has beaten somebody, time and time again. The only one that was meaningful was, Murphy, and that was short-lived. It was good for what we got from them, obviously, but they got to the feud pretty quickly, and then it was done and over with. And instead of seeing him, move on to the next level, he went backwards. He's facing jobbers again and 205 Live talent. His promos in the ring are getting better. He's becoming more comfortable. I like that they have his own little, like, corner segment, like they do with MVP's, segment, things like that. Like, they turn down the house lights, so it feels unique to his character. But he needs to be also having better matches against people that matter. We know he can beat some random skinny guy's ass. What else can you do? So time and time again, they're just, parading people out there who you have no passion for. You don't care about them because you don't want to see them. And if we do see them, it's because we've seen it 1,000 times, so it doesn't feel new and exciting. And even worse than that, when it was new and exciting, you reached your limit and pretty much popped the height that you can go to. The first meeting with Seth Rollins and the AOP Murphy saga with Samoa Joe, you had him running up the wall like he was playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Now you're just having battle it out. And yeah, it's a solid match, but you didn't give us anything new that we haven't seen before. So it's not enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was bland tonight. So I could see how some people could shift a little to the right and a little to the left on this. I could see how some people maybe thought, oh, Raw was a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Okay,
yeah, a good part of it felt repetitive.
But I'm giving it a 5. I would give it a 5 or 4. I mean, I said 3 a minute ago. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I could give it a 4. Like I give it maybe a 4. I don't know. Like I was not entertained by this for the. I mean, let me go down the list. Let's run down the match list. Let me play a donation and we'll go down this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. And
Super Chat Party.
Nick Grasso.
Shayna may lead a vampire stable.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that's the thing is everybody's starting to think that now. I mean, we thought, like you said, a good one-off would be funny. Like there should be nothing behind this. It should just be she bit her. That was crazy, and now she's back to being a badass MMA chick. That's what I think they should do. But
she came to draw blood, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, but now you're gonna see probably like that she's like vampirous or something like, and she's gonna start biting people. I mean, like hopefully that's not what they do. I mean, maybe it could work, but I mean, I definitely wouldn't expect that direction to happen. But Nick, thank you for the $2.99. Nick, what's up? You sexy beast, and what's up to Broken Lion? Yeah, Juan, man, he gave all his points away. It was a wild battle on Sunday night, I will tell you that, man. If you missed my Sunday night gaming stream, it was fucking crazy. Like people were going off, and we're gonna do it again next week.
Shit bum.
Hopefully it works out.
Raw sucked like always tonight, but what the fuck happened last night? I missed one hell of a stream, but I watched it in full this morning. That has to be a regular thing going forward.
Yeah, Pussy Lips McGee. I think my goal was to make the first half of my gaming stream be that, and then get into the gaming after it. Pussy Lips McGee, thanks for the $5 and becoming a $5 shit bum. But yeah, I didn't expect it to go like that, dude. I did not expect like people to be that awesome about it. So yeah, we got to give it up for Broken Lion. We're just gonna shout out Broken Lion all week. But Broken Lion has to hit me up and let me know what he wants to do.
I want to be king of the Wicca people.
The Wicca people. Is that some kind of like demon thing or witch thing? I don't know.
Or is that,
What else we got?
Oh God, the peas, nothing.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it. Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh,
A little bit of the bubbly.
that's it.
D. Welsh.
They mentioned Gronk during Rawley's segment way too many times. So when is he showing up?
Oh,
Ha
God.
ha ha, hashtag Wheel Night was awesome.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Maybe D. Welsh, thanks, man. Wheel Night was fun. Thank you for donating, man, too. I guess he's been around a while. Started making his first donations. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know. What will Gronk do? I mean, this other guy's got the belt now. Why would Mojo now is going to feud maybe with Gronk? I mean, or he's going to feud with this guy until he gets to Gronk.
What else we got?
I don't
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it. Want some bubbly? Look
Oh
at
my
this
God,
stuff.
Gangrel.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
The new brood is coming and I'm passing the torch to Shayna Baszler. Play my theme.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. Gangrel. Here he comes. So I went with the aftermarket Gangrel music so we didn't get a copyright strike, but so it's not quite as good. The real theme is so much better than that.
That's one of my favorite
Jesus.
themes of all time.
That was a really awful version of it, I think. Dan. Like, what the whatever. Anyway,
that was one of the best entrances. I used to love that.
Well, I apologize. Like I said earlier, my mic broke. My shock mount broke on my mic stand, hit me in the head, and I had to go rustle up some wires at the last second and throw this headset together. So, hey, it is what it is. That's not too bad, but it's just kind of funny. So if you're wondering why this is just dangling here, it's because...
Flying by the seat of your pants.
Yeah, I mean, I've ordered so many things and cables this last week, but I didn't expect to have to order a new shock mount. So, actually, I got some other mics and mounts, but this literally broke as I was going to go on the air, so my bad. But, hey, here we are. Why is every time about Rio tonight? Is that like some kind of... is like a meme with Rio going on?
Rio versus, you name it.
Rio sucks. Like, who cares who she versus? Like, she blows.
Well, some people were voting for a paper bag. I said coronavirus. Just
we'll
see what happens.
No. Whoa.
But that's what I was getting at before.
Smells like
There's no
vagina.
natural succession to these matches. You look at the 8-man tag, and how long ago was it? Was it before the new year that we had the fist fight match with Big Show? I think so.
Oh.
I think it was before New Year's.
No,
so I don't want to say this year, but maybe it was after.
I think the fist fight was early January.
Maybe. Yeah, it's still either which way. That was where this really all started. They had the first one where they added the Big Show. Week 2 they have
January
the street fight.
13th.
Okay, and then they had the street fight, and it's like, Kevin Owens is running up the ramp. People are going through tables. So usually you build to those kind of things. Tonight is how the first match or second match should have ended. It's like starting with the Hell in a Cell. That's the feud ender. So the problem is we get these massive moments, and then you have these matches that go backwards. Samoa Joe got taken out last week, or 2 weeks ago, excuse me. And then from there, they had to kind of cover time last week. And then this week, it's like, we're going to get another 8-man tag. And the ending is, it's a justifiable ending. He's got the clutch locked in, and all right, there comes the stomp. The ref doesn't see it. It's a good ending. It's logical, but where we are in this feud by now, people should be bleeding. We should be seeing people destroyed. It should be a total shit show, and there's nothing exciting. This is what should have happened weeks ago. It just feels like they're going in reverse. So therefore, it's not entertaining. When it gets to be this repetitive that you're calling the spots as they happen, that's bad. And that's why I enjoyed Asuka's match, because it was the opposite. We got Becky and Asuka to not give us more of the same. I felt like, as I said before, this was better than anything we've seen from those two yet. And, especially better than the one they gave us at the Rumble. There was a lot of different, moments and spots that I enjoyed here. And I particularly like the ending too. So seeing the Uranagi slam, or, the rock bottom was a cool way to finish it and get the pinfall. And they had so many back and forth pin attempts and all those near falls that was an interesting way to end the match. I like that match. They gave them a good amount of time. Unfortunately, a lot of commercials, but yeah, I mean, for as much as I can say good about this, there's equal negatives. I'm not crazy about the Angel Garza Zelina Vega pairing. I mean, it works, but that Andrade will be back in another week at this point.
I don't know, man. They might use this to. I mean, obviously, if he comes back, they can use it as she's got another client, or she's got two people, or they fight each other like because they're mad or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, it's curious to see where that goes. Are they going to have them face each other, or will she be representing both of them?
I'm not mad about it. I think it makes sense. I don't have a problem with this. I think it makes sense. Slide in. I mean, it is kind of funny in a way. Like Vince was like, "Give me another Hispanic guy," but okay, bring in Garza.
I don't mind the pairing. I just don't have any interest in the story they're telling right now. With Humberto Carrillo, he's going to keep running out and try and get revenge on Garza for attacking Rey Mysterio.
Because again, first of all, we didn't care anyway because Humberto Carrillo sucks. I mean, so now...
And he's still the essential focal point of this.
And now you take out the guy that he started this whole thing with for the last month. So you take the bad guy out who was doing this, and now replace him with another guy to a story that you already don't care about with a face who is lackluster. It's like, how terrible can this get? It's almost like kind of like the new Star Wars in a way. It's like, if you're getting ready for, you're upset about Star Wars Last Jedi, well, get ready for the third one, or Episode 9, because not only are they gonna have to pick up the pieces of this shit show, but Leia's dead.
We're gonna erase the past and
no, but Leia's dead. Like the person who played Leia. I don't know why I can't think of Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher's dead. So on top of this being a shit show, the person that you picked to carry the torch to the next movie, Carrie Fisher, is dead, like in real life. So it's the same thing. It's like, here's Humberto Carrillo lackluster. Here's the star Andrade. The star who's the heel is Andrade. Now you're going to take out Andrade and plug in some other guy to replace him in a story that already wasn't good anyway. So now we're left with this just contrived thing of shit. So really all we're left with is go in the ring and wrestle. Because I think Humberto and Garza can have a good match. So that's all that we care about. I don't care about their story outside the ring. I don't care. I don't want to cheer for Humberto. I don't really care about him. I kind of like Garza better. So I'm going to actually cheer for Garza.
Far more charismatic, and I agree with what Hey Monday said.
Yeah, I'm going to cheer for Garza. I'm cheering for Garza. But I want to see them fight or wrestle and have a good wrestling match. I don't care about anything else. I don't care about flowers and, like, jumping the guy in the back or running out and DDTing him on cement. None of that matters to me. I don't even care. Pull out chairs, pull out barbed wire at this point. I couldn't give a shit about these two. Just wrestle in a match. Like, maybe have a ladder match. That might be good. But other than that, fuck this feud.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. It's not a great feud. Garza is excellent in the ring. He's extremely charismatic. I see a good future with him, but there's just, it leaves a lot to be desired overall. The Matt Hardy segment is very bittersweet because since when Matt returned, that was one of the most exciting WrestleMania moments in ages, I felt like, because of where he was at that point in time.
Yeah, the build-up.
With them coming in and Michael Cole even saying, things are about to get broken. So we're like, oh, my God, the broken gimmicks in WWE and all the possibilities and dream matches. And he's going to face the Wyatts and, on and on and on. And then we found out, oh, shit, we spent like 3 weeks, I think, wondering. And then finally Matt spoke. He didn't have his broken brilliance accent. And it took a while for them to really, let everybody know, oh, no, we don't have the rights to the gimmick yet. We have to wait and go through all months and months and months of working it out with Impact and all that, owl bullshit. So it was a letdown. But that Mania moment, still stands true. It's so exciting. So seeing him come back to such a massive ovation, him and his brother, that place erupted. That was one of the loudest, pops we've seen in a long time. To know that since that moment, WWE has done them so wrong, especially Matt. It's so bittersweet to see his entire WWE career end with a chair to the head. He even tweeted out goodbye on his Twitter with the link to the final Free the Delete, or not final, but the most current Free the Delete episode. We knew that he had 16 weeks left when he posted the first episode, and that was October 25th. He said in that episode that it would be March 1st that when his contract ends. Matt Hardy said this himself in his YouTube videos. So
we're going to get him. What's March 1st anyway, by the way?
That's Sunday. A Sunday.
So
that's the day after Revolution, so we could see something happen that 4th on Wednesday at AEW. For what I originally had read, people are saying now that he might be negotiating a new contract, but he hasn't signed anything. His contract ends March 1st, and there is no no compete or anything like that because his contract is over at that point. He's not being let go.
So he's got to think to himself, because I'm sure that he has to, I'm sure he wants to, try to make it seem like he could sign with the WWE again. Because if he does that, he needs to be able to get the most out of any other contract that comes his way. And he also needs
that's
to
why
make
it would make sense with him saying, "Oh, I'm talking with WWE."
Well, you're right. So if he said he was talking with AEW, like straight up, or I'm talking with other companies right now, that would make me think he definitely wants to stay in WWE and he wants WWE to pay. Now, if he says I'm in talks with WWE right now, that makes me think that he wants to leave WWE. And he's hoping that AEW or any of these other companies will increase their offers.
411 Mania and PW Insider report that Matt Hardy is still in discussions with WWE about a new deal. Nothing has been reached. As previously reported, his contract expires March 1st with no compete clause added. So, I mean...
Also remember that the WWE really values Jeff Hardy, and they really value the Hardys as a tag team. So they value the Hardys as a tag team, and they value Jeff Hardy, and they don't value Matt Hardy.
No, and Jeff's contract was extended due to his time off with injury, and he has a court date April 6th for his October DWI arrest. So that extends his contract as well, because he would be done March 1st also, because they signed at the same point.
Right, so Jeff's
got like almost another year then.
Yeah,
he's
Jeff
been out
is
since
fucked.
April.
Jeff's fucked, because they're tacking on time for him for like crazy.
Yeah, he's been out since April.
But I don't think Jeff and Matt are getting along too well.
No, not from what we've seen.
Their wives
their
are
interactions
fighting.
From their wives on Twitter,
So I think Matt is more like, I'll be there for you, I hope you get better. But I mean, Matt's going to do whatever he wants to do. And the reason why is because Matt's going home and saying like, hey, he's like, I got to do the best for Rebby and for you. And Rebby's probably like, fuck him, like let him figure it out. We need to do what we need to do. And fuck that. And the wives are fighting. Jeff has all these issues, but Jeff has a job in WWE for a big contract probably at some point. So you are probably about to see, I don't know how many times these two have had separate contracts. I don't really know the answer. I know Jeff went to TNA, obviously, so that was different, but I'm sure Matt was making more in WWE at the time. So this may be the first time you may actually see Matt Hardy leave WWE for less money and Jeff Hardy be offered a giant contract in WWE.
Matt had also stated at one point, I thought, going off of recollection, but I thought he said it wasn't about the money for him.
It's got to be about the creativity, yeah.
Yeah, because I know he said in previous interviews recently that it's not about the money.
Yeah. So like if that's the case, and he's like, I just want to be happy again and be doing stuff. I can't deal with this like show up every once in a while and job out and then do nothing, and have all my creative ideas stifled. I'm sure at this point, I think the Hardys probably have millions of dollars saved. Matt's probably got, I'm sure Matt has at least like $8 million saved somewhere, or $5 million or something. And so, at this point, he probably would love to go out there for $200,000 a year and be able to do whatever he wants to do and work.
I'm sure they're worth even more than that, because you look at his house. I mean, it says his net worth is $5 million, but maybe they have more assets and stuff.
No, I think that's
compound
right.
that he has is huge. When you see his house and all like the free to delete stuff, that place is. I mean, it's got a ring, a gym. It's massive.
Well, but he owns it, so I mean, he owns that.
That's what I'm saying. So, they're saying Jeff and him were currently signed to a salary of $2.06 million per year.
Right.
And that was, I mean, that's speculatory, but that's what the contract is at this point. So
see, WWE could offer him that's the scary thing, is WWE could offer them $3 million. They could say, Matt, we want to keep you here for another 3 years. Here's $3 million a year.
Do you think they'll do that just to see him not go elsewhere, though?
Maybe.
With them being in dire straits financially, it seems.
They've already done it, although they denied all this at the board meeting, at the shareholders meeting, which was hilarious. They vehemently
denied doing any of this, even though we see it in front of our very eyes.
That was the funniest
they've signed people.
Fucking thing. Like, dude,
why would they keep Mike Kanellis and Maria when they're doing nothing with them? Right. 5-year deals for these types of people, big money deals.
See, that's the problem, is no stockholder asked those questions. They said, what's going on with the finances? We've seen a large increase in pay to talent. Is that because of the amount of income that you guys are making? You're making so much more now that you can pay the talent more? And Vince was like, yeah, that's absolutely what it is. Like, and it's like, no, the question is, you've made a little bit more money because of our situation here in Saudi Arabia, but you're not disclosing the facts about the finances. But what we do know is that talent pay is up by like 30%. Like they're paying talent.
And they're burning money for house shows, so it's not. That used to be one of their big recovery points, and now they're not getting it that way.
Vince, it's funny because Vince didn't answer any questions the right way, but by not answering the questions, that told you that it was true, and it told you what it was. And so it connected all the dots of, okay, you did make more money. The network is losing money, or the network is not making anywhere near what it's supposed to. That's number one. Number two is, you're making a chunk of change extra from these Saudi Arabia shows. And number three is, you're paying talent in abnormal amount of money because you don't want to let them go to AEW or somewhere else because you're worried about those things affecting your business. And you're not doing anything with said talent that you are offering all this money to, never getting a value back for your investment, but you believe your value is by keeping them here, they don't hurt you somewhere else. But the bottom line is you're pissing away money, like, to all these people.
Yeah, big time.
There is...
they really need to thin the herd, but they're afraid of people going to AEW. And although AEW says we're not in the interest of signing everyone WWE releases,
right,
the actions speak louder. So that's kind of not been the truth so far, seemingly.
Well, I don't think. No, I think they're right. They don't. They can't.
They don't want everybody, but there's certain people that they would certainly jump at. They'd be foolish not.
But they
to,
also can't afford it. Like even AEW, they can't offer someone. They don't offer people like $300,000. That's why some people haven't signed. That's why Ring of Honor was able to sign Marty Scurll, because AEW was like,
such a big amount.
AEW was like, I guarantee they offered Marty Scurll. AEW offered Marty Scurll somewhere in the vicinity of, maybe they offered him $130,000, only because he's friends with the elite guys. Like, they probably wanted to offer him 80 or 90. Let's say they offered him 130. Well, I think Ring of Honor offered him about the same, and he was like, well, I want to go over here. Okay, we're gonna give you an extra. We'll give you 150, and we'll give you creative control of everything, and make you part of. He whatever. I think they made him half of the creative, basically the head of creative of Ring of Honor. So you made this guy your top talent, top paid talent ever, and you made him in charge of creative. This fucking guy is the booker, and
he's made at this point.
So
he's essentially, top of the top. Because you hear that, Jericho has the best contract of his career, and when WWE officials saw what he was getting with AEW, they were like stunned, so reports say. That was coming from Bleacher Report last week. I didn't get to talk about it out of nowhere. Unfortunately, we had a lot to cover, but Jericho's AEW contract stunned WWE personnel.
He said it's the biggest contract. He said this back with Chris Van Vliet, like.
Yeah, he said it was the best contract of his career, and I'm dying to know specifics, but
best contract of his career. So he's getting paid. To me, that says, I think, 3, 4, maybe $5 million a year.
It has to be, because WWE was giving him good money.
WWE was probably giving him $2 or $3 million a year.
I think it was like 2.4 at one point. Don't quote me on it, but I think that was about the bracket.
Right. So Jericho probably got $4 or $5 million from AEW. Maybe I believe 3.5 maybe. So if he got $3.5 million from AEW, that's about $1 million more than WWE. So that would be the biggest career of his contract of his career.
And what's interesting too is, like, Rey Mysterio, his contract ends in October of 2020, but he has an out clause after 18 months. So he could be out even sooner. He could be out right after April.
Can you imagine if, because this could work out great for Jericho, and let me explain. Jericho could literally leave the AEW next year, right? He could literally leave the AEW, because when his career ends at AEW, which is, his contract, what is it, 2 years? Do you know? I don't even know. 2 or 3
years? For Jericho,
years?
I think it's 3 year. It said 3 year on Bleacher Report. So
all right, so let's say that's true. We're in year 1. Can you imagine Jericho's 3rd year as he comes to an end?
Yeah,
what the fucking WWE is gonna throw at Chris Jericho?
Yeah, because he still says he wants the Lesnar match. He wants different things to happen. So
can you imagine that though, dude? Like, seriously, like when his contract is about to expire in AEW. And let's say he's, healthy, not injured, everything's going well still and everything, and AEW is kicking ass or doing well, still doing well, whatever you want to say. Can you imagine? Like, I imagine like $8 million being offered to him for a year or 2.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can see that.
Like, so he talks about right now how WWE gave him $2.5 million as his biggest contract ever, and AEW is now his biggest contract ever at $3.5 million or whatever it's at. Can you imagine making $8 million then or something? Because that's like what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, and even with him being 52, he'll still be a huge draw. And when you look at AEW being there, And that's what that's what Randy Orton did. He was able to play against them now. So some of the contract signings I understand, but other ones they still like. If you look at what WWE signed recently, with the amount of money they put out, Elias, Kevin Owens, Braun Strowman, Paige, Mike and Maria, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, Jinder Mahal, Lana, Kofi, Big E, and Xavier, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Randy Orton, The Miz, and Booker T. Everybody's to 2024. The Miz is 2025, and Booker T is 2029. So when you look at all that, most people there are getting at least $1 million, close to, for 5 years.
Thanks, Toby.
That's a lot of money.
Thanks, Toby676 for subscribing. Toby, what's up, man?
Other people like Braun, Kevin Owens are making more, but there's a lot of money to be had there, and it's surprising, but they have to trim the fat at some point.
Let's jump over to the donations. Shayna Baszler biting the neck of Becky Lynch tonight, and looked like she had the bad period there.
Somebody did say the best thing ever on Twitter. They said that how did she fit into Eric Rowan cage for all these weeks?
It was her head in there.
That's all it was.
Like they literally stole his deal. It's kind of funny.
Somebody said that he wasn't coming out at house shows with the cage, but I didn't see that confirmed. Wouldn't it be awful if they just dropped that gimmick? I'm not saying that that's confirmed, but somebody had tweeted that the other day. It could have just been a one-off because it was a house show, but
yeah.
Imagine if they just give up on that.
They just get rid of it, yeah. Well, I mean, what did we last see him? He was in the Rumble, he got eliminated, then what?
He's, I think, had one TV match since then. If that.
See, I would, what did we talk about? We said maybe there was a cactus in there or something like that?
Yeah, we had said a bunch of stupid stuff,
Yeah. Well, anyway, I want to thank Toby for subbing, man. Thank you, bro. It didn't pop up, so I just wanted to put you up there. Thanks for subscribing to the channel, man. What's up? Jake gets horny when someone subscribes, don't you, Jake?
Absolutely.
Down below, guys. All right, let's go ahead to the donations. Let's see what you guys are saying. I kind of neglected these for a little while. If you guys want to donate, super chats are down below. Those work on this channel. I'm not demonetized on this channel. I'm only demonetized on Corrupted Nation. But even so, without that, you can still donate through Twitch alerts or Streamlabs. Expand the description box below. The link is there. Or go to joecroninlive.com. joecroninlive.com as well. Or just click the link down below. The links are easier to click, and boom, they pop up. You write something fucked up, and we read it, and we laugh at it, and we jerk off to it. And we got a little goal, a mini goal tonight of $60. It's a pretty big goal, though. $60 is a lot. We are 28% at that goal. So if you guys want to support, that's the way to do it tonight. Thank you for that. And we will continue with this review. So much more to talk about, in my opinion. We really haven't even, we jumped around with some of the stuff on Raw, but we're going to kind of start from the beginning, I think, get to the end in a minute. We'll go rapid fire through that and kind of give opinions on it. And at some point later on tonight, I'm going to take phone calls. I will take phone calls later. I've been working all day today on the computer stuff. I got my RAM installed and all this other shit. Blah, 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 blah. Here's the donations.
Super chat. Super chat.
Yeah.
Becky clearly did Seth's hair for tonight's show.
Oh, you think so? I didn't even notice that. Mario Rodriguez. That's a good point, though. Yeah, so I didn't even see his hair. Didn't he have... I liked, dude, that leather jacket with the fluff all over it. That was funny.
I'm gonna show up in Saudi in the Lex Express and win that damn meaningless trophy that always gotta do in Saudi Arabia. Play my music.
Oh my God, Lex Luger's gonna show up in Saudi Arabia. Can you imagine what would happen if Lex Luger shows up in Saudi Arabia? Dun, 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 dun.
Super chat. Super chat.
Repackage Iconics with Baszler as the new Brood.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Can you imagine that? I like the Iconics Y Society, but can you imagine those three girls? Like the Iconics with Baszler and they're like vampires or vampire. What do you call women vampires? Vampires?
Vampires? I don't know.
I'm just thinking
Vampires?
of the vampiresses. The vampiresses. They're the vampiresses. And they go around like with their fucking teeth. And they eat people. It'd be crazy. The vampresses. The vampresses. They could be the vampresses. and they come out with this dark music. I don't know, like stuff like that is kind of interesting to me. Although I really still can't believe that Baszler. I think people are really running away with this. I think it's just Baszler's nuts, and she's a crazy MMA chick, and now she came out here and bit this bitch, like, and that's all it is. But people are really running with this whole, like, let's see vampires now. Like, people are being very little. It's funny, you guys are acting like Vince McMahon. I just want to point that out. Not everybody, but some of you out there who want this, you guys are fully going Vince McMahon. You're seeing what you see, and you're fully, like, fucking jumping into it literally. You're like, oh, she bit her, so, like, let's make her Gangrel female. Like, by the way, I like this. Like, this is one of those times where I like it. Most of the time, I don't like these things. You know, Hollywood directors are like, let's do that, but with a woman. You know, that's always annoying. But this would be one of those times where backstage I'd be like, you know what? People kind of dug that. What if we put a couple girls with her, and they were like this dark, sort of evil female group, like that? We really haven't had that, you know. And they were, yeah, like, and so, like, let's do the female brood almost. Like,
let's make the Nightmare Collective, but not have it suck.
Let's make the Nightmare Collective, but not gay. Like, how about that?
Brandy said so many compelling things about that group as well. Over her, she had a big call and revealed a lot, and it was pretty damn interesting. I think I had some of it saved, but basically she said that Kong can't work anymore, and that was basically the main issue.
What?
She said
like
she was on Wrestling Observer Live. She said the original idea was her to manage Awesome Kong, and Kong wanted a gimmick of cutting hair, but she can't work the way she used to. So the Nightmare Collective came to be. She said Brandy started not liking it before the fans started not to like it, and she made the decision to do the therapy session videos and end it. She said that she didn't feel that Luther and Mel were getting what she thought they should have out of it, and the angle wasn't portrayed the way she had thought. She said it was heartbreaking for her when Awesome Kong couldn't wrestle the match at Bash at the Beach because she knew everyone wanted to see Chris Statlander get her revenge. And Cody's Lashes segment, she said, was real to her. Everything she said in front of Cody, she said, was straight from the heart.
But
so
why did they book Luther to get his ass kicked by Rio?
She said that, I guess the way I'm taking it, it wasn't their original idea, and things got changed. So I wonder how that worked creatively.
I'm gonna tweet her on Twitter, and I
would love to hear more explained about that. She admits that it didn't work. She felt like it wasn't working. Then the fan reception was bad, so she decided to end it and put her 2 cents in.
I think my biggest question to them, and I know this is not an AEW review, so I don't want to go too into AEW, but my biggest question is, like, I want someone there to look me in the eyes. I want somebody at AEW to look me in the eyes and explain what in the world you thought you were doing when you brought in a guy who was supposed to be a Japanese or, like, whatever death match psychopath guy. What were you thinking bringing him in? And the first thing we see is a woman who weighs 90 pounds taking him out, and then a second woman the next week taking him out. What in the world of fuck were you thinking when he already looks kind of goofy? We already kind of don't know who he is. Yet one of your announcers knows everything about him. Nobody else knows anything, and he doesn't tell us anything about him, really. He just says, look, it's Luther. Everybody knows who he is. Oh, you don't? Well, he's a deathmatch guy. Oh, well, he just got beat up by 2 women. So I want somebody at AEW to explain why they're retarded. Because someone at your company is a retard. Like, this is wrestling. Do you know how to introduce a new character to wrestling fans? Listen, this stuff pisses me off because I'm sitting here in a fucking basement with all the years of wrestling stuff. Am I working commentary for a company right now? No. Am I working for a company in any aspect at all? No. Who is the fucking idiot retard who thought it was okay to debut a guy like Luther and then just kill him immediately? Like, did the guy, like, rape you in New Japan? Did Luther molest you somewhere down the line? And you were like, I know what I'd like to do. I'd like to bring in this guy that no one's ever heard of and then make him heard of for a second, but, like, really bury him. That'd be fun. Like, is that some sort of sick, perverted thing because it would have been better if he just never mentioned him or signed him at all, because no one would have ever known. He would have been forgotten into the distance. But instead you brought him in, and now people kind of know who he is, but he's known for being an idiot. And you made him look like a retard. But really, you just made yourselves look retarded. You didn't make Luther... Like, it's just, like, dude, like, of all the things that WWE does, like, WWE has been really bad in the last 3, 4, 5 years. WWE has been bad. But that was... I mean, this is a company that's supposed to come in and take over and be the new thing and be awesome. That is... Like, I don't know who did this. I mean, God, if I found out, maybe I'd be embarrassed now. You know, I mean, if you told me the guy who decided this was what we're going to do. But they should be slapped in the face. Like, they should be... Like, you talk about Cody Rhodes getting lashed, 10 lashes. Whoever fucking decided to do that with Luther should be lashed in AEW. They should be fucking lashed in the back room. Just in the dick with a belt. And Tony Khan, who has billions of dollars... Nobody said the first time, like, hey, guys, maybe that's a bad idea to have Rio cross body and, like, attack the new guy who's supposed to be a crazy tough guy. Maybe it's a bad, like, the first week, okay, maybe someone fucked up somehow, and then later on they were like, dude, what were we doing? We better make him look strong this week. But then you don't make him look strong the next week? So now the only other option I have in my mind is Luther is a moron, and that's the gag. Every week he gets his ass kicked. And that's so maybe that's funny. Maybe that is funny. You know, oh, he's a deathmatch guy, and then he gets his ass kicked every week, and that's like a gimmick that he just sucks. Like, that's funny, I guess, but that's not what they're doing. They literally meant what they did, and they're fucking stupid. And here we are. Here I am in a basement. Anyway, whatever. I'm sorry. I'm being a shithead, but I just can't help it. This is so stupid.
But it's true, because you know, these are the things you have to focus on.
That's one of the worst. That may be the worst thing in wrestling of the year. Out of any of these, out of NXT, WWE, and AEW, that may be the dumbest thing.
And really quick too, to go back a little bit.
Yeah, please
according
get me off
to
of
Sport
AEW.
Bible, with the salary numbers, Matt Hardy was only making $650 a year. I say only, like I wouldn't want $650,000, but Jeff Hardy was signed at that contract at $1 million a year. So you saw the disparity. I know we discussed this when they got signed, but we knew there was a difference then. I just couldn't remember what the exact numbers were.
Right.
They just re-signed Jinder Mahal for almost $1 million a year, you know, things like that. And Dolph Ziggler's making $1.5 million a year. Talk about a waste of money at this point in time.
Yeah, that's
Randy's new deal is at $4.5 million according to, you know, various sites. And
don't you think that at this point you would say, like, wow, Jinder Mahal had a great comeback story, and for a little while had a nice little run. Wouldn't at this point you basically be like, if you want to stay in we'd like to keep you as kind of this sort of mid card, whatever, and you are an attraction in a way. You got the music, people know you from that run. It's a big thing. You know, $300,000 a year for 3 years. You know what I mean? And then if no, then goodbye. Like, why are they signing these guys? Like,
I fail to know.
Like, they're super valuable. Like, I hate to be the cold one because I really do like Jinder Mahal. And that guy I thought he did a great job. You know, I mean, we got sick of him after 3 months or 2 months, but he really, for about 3 months to me, he was so good. He really was. He was funny when he held the belt up and drove away in the limo. The music was great, the Punjabi stuff, and the presence he had. He looked like Psycho Sid.
Yeah, most of what I didn't like about him, when you go back, wasn't his fault. It wasn't his matches. It was just who, you know, putting him against Randy Orton is a terrible idea because he's so plodding and boring. And with Randy, you need someone like very fast paced. So their matches dragged out into, you know, torturous hell spectrums. And besides that, the biggest thing for me was he literally was a jobber for something like 4 years. And then the next day he was WWE champion. So it was just such a shocking change up that it was too hard to accept. They spent no time advancing him and building him up. They just flipped that switch instantly. He went from 4 years of losses to #1 contender to WWE champion in 3 nights.
To me, it didn't. I bought it a little bit because he looked so different. I just thought he looked bigger. I understood it was a relaunch of a character. It was like a reboot. It wasn't. That's not Jinder from back.
But
in the
he was
day.
losing even before then, even when he was bigger.
Yeah, no, it was an out of nowhere idea to be like, let's make him the heel. Let's make him the guy.
It was all for the Indian market, and that failed.
But also
that was their purpose.
Also, they had nothing going on. They had no heels, and they were.
Yeah,
I mean, they tried
had
something.
nothing at
but
that
see,
point, so.
I really think that they really did create a character. Like that guy was nothing before. Never ever was he anything. He was always just shit. And when they put the Singh brothers with him, and he was. Like, what do you say, the modern day Maharaja, that stuff, that ended up working, like, a little bit. I mean, really, like, no matter what you say, anybody says out there, Jinder Mahal, that became a character. That became what he is, what you'll always remember of him now. Before that, what you always would remember of him would have been like, oh, yeah, I remember that 3MB thing you did. That would have been what he was remembered for, 3M fucking B.
Yeah.
But now you'll remember the 3MB, but that was stupid. That shit was dumb as shit. But at least now you'll remember. Yeah, I remember when you were the champ and you were the modern day Maharaja, like and all
now
that
he's
stuff.
Not just a comedy angle.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he wasn't very good, and we made fun of him for a while.
Heath, unfortunately, was even when he was tag champs, it was still at his expense because they're posing him as white trash. So
yeah, the Jinder and Juice. He was the needles.
Ginger
We all
can't be hindered,
remember the pimples all over him. We would zoom in on the pimples, like what the fuck are those? Like, and he looked just crazy.
Unfortunately, though, the ratings for SmackDown were at their worst when he was champion. So.
Oh, it was because they went too long with it. They went way too long with him. They should have. What they should have done with him is they really should have had him be like sort of like the Baron Corbin guy, like in the mid card. But I don't know, man. Like. It was just too much of it. That's all. I thought he was really good for 3 months. I loved it for 3 months. I give them a thumbs up.
It was just a very hard push.
But for the last 3 months when he was champion, it was like, murder me. Like, please murder me. And I blame that on them mostly. Because again, I think it was hilarious. When he drove away with the belt and he was holding it up outside the limo and he was like, ha, ha, ha. Like, that shit was funny. And, like Seth Rollins is kind of funny that way. Like, when you actually throw a little bit of, like, comedy in the way that he's a heel, like, he's this fucking sniveling heel from, like, a cartoon, for some reason, that works with Seth and with Jinder. But, like, with everybody else, it doesn't. With everybody else, you're like, this sucks. I don't know, man. Like, I'm just giving him the benefit on the first 2 months or 3 months of Jinder. He was good. But after that, it was abysmal. It was like, get this guy the fuck off the TV. Like, what is going on? And the fact that, but they did. I don't know if they didn't see that or they saw it and they waited too long. But what they should have done was, like, if I was in charge, I would have said, all right, this has run its course. Like, we got to get the fuck out of this. The ratings are dropping. People don't like it anymore. It's not good. It's not. They don't hate him. They don't like him. They're just bored by him. We need to get him the fuck out of here. WWE has to start realizing that there's love it, hate it, bored of it. Love it, hate it, bored of it. WWE thinks there's only heat or no heat. They think like, oh, love it, hate it. Love it, hate it. As long as they love it or hate it, it's all good. Love it, hate it. Love it, hate it. Well, there's also bored. And bored happens way quicker nowadays than it ever did before because now you have a 3-hour show on Mondays. So bored happens quick now. So if you're going to tell a story, you need to start wrapping these things up quickly. Or like getting them going and wrapping them up. Like, you need to stop with the fucking, like, let's just let it run its course some more. No, people aren't like this anymore. Everybody moves fast. Everybody's not running out buying CDs in the stores, buying fucking whatever the fuck. They're like, yo, where's the song? Is it on Spotify? It's not on Spotify. Fuck this. Anyway, I'm going to go masturbate now. No, you need to get your shit on there and get it going. Deliver the fucking, set it up, tell the story quick, end it. Boom, tell the story. You need to hit these fucking melatonin spots in our heads. Or not melatonin, but hit these fucking stimulations in our brain. Like, here's the setup. Here's the next part. Boom, it's closed. Here's the setup. Here's the next part. Boom, it's closed. Yeah, get that serotonin rolling. Get our fucking blood pumping. Don't fucking... like, it's just fucking... Nobody can stand that anymore. I don't know if anybody doesn't realize this. WWE either cuts off stuff early and wastes our time, or they drag it out. They need to stop with those two things. They need to fucking, like, dude, we're going to tell this story. It's going to be 3 weeks, and we're done. Boom, here's the start of it. Here's the next thing, and then here's the third thing. And if the fans still love it after that, no, let's set up a match at a pay-per-view, or let's set up a big feud, or let's continue the feud. But instead, they don't do that. They murder you. They bore you through 5 to 6 weeks of it, And by the 6th week, you want to kill yourself. So there's never any, like, let's now have a pay-per-view match, and then everyone's excited about it. No, they want to die. So what you need to do is do the 3 weeks, short story, but make it good. And then if the people love it after 3 weeks, now you got something. Now let's set up that big thing. Hey, the attack happened that night. The fans reacted to it. The next week we set up more, and then the 3rd week we kind of had the payoff or the result of it. But the fans are still cheering for stuff. Let's have a ladder match now, or let's do the next thing. But they don't do that. And I'm babbling on, and I'm sorry.
No, because that's what I'm just saying before. There needs to be escalation. You need to build towards things. You can't go backwards and expect people to remain interested. You can't start with a severe attack and a blindside and go to a no DQ match and then expect people to get their rocks off on a regular, normal, everyday scenario. Doesn't work.
What did they do tonight with Garza and fucking Humberto? Like, it was just a match, and then Humberto...
Yeah, well, no, it was supposed to be Cedric Alexander at first, and then Humberto ran out street clothes to attack, and then he gets pulled back, away by security and whatnot. He was teasing doing the again at ringside, and that was pretty much it. So then we saw Garza go ahead and hit the wing clipper, and that was it.
So
the match was over. He beat Cedric Alexander in like 3 minutes flat.
It's like at this point they should realize, listen, Andrade's gone. Nobody likes this. Stop.
Yeah, nobody likes Humberto. Just build up Angel Garza because he's got a ton of charisma.
Do you know what you
do? Really
do?
damn good in the ring.
You know what you do?
And make him a contender for the U.S. title when Andrade gets back.
Humberto Carrillo grabs a mic and goes, listen, like, we're going to fucking I want a match with you tonight, and I want, if I win, Zelina Vega is gone. How about that? We're going to have a match tonight. If I win, Zelina Vega is gone. She can't manage on Raw, or she can't be here anymore type of deal, whatever the fuck. And then Zelina's like, oh my God, what the fuck? And then Garza's like, no, I got this. It'll be okay. And she's worried. And Garza's like, whatever. Boom, they have the match. Ladder match. That's all you need. Bring out a ladder, hang a fucking thing from the ceiling. Garza, Humberto, for whatever, Zelina Vega. They have a good ladder match. Garza wins the fucking ladder match. At some point, Zelina Vega punches him in the balls. I don't fucking care. Like, just do something like that and just get out of there. Like, have a good match and get out of there. This is all a waste of time. I don't care what happened, what they did tonight, and him running out. Fuck you. Like, that sucked. Like, that sucked ass.
What didn't suck to me was Ricochet and Bobby Lashley, which is surprising because I'm not, the biggest proponent of current Bobby Lashley, but everyone thought Lashley should have won the triple threat last week, and even I was a bit confounded with Ricochet winning. I understand that's the story they're telling, Dick Kick City.
But that wasn't good to me because it was like, okay, obviously Ricochet is going to beat Bobby Lashley because this is a match they're setting up so they can prove that Ricochet can beat a big monster guy.
Exactly. So, but they did a good job with it. I think
they did. But
I personally feel that it was entertaining and it was better than what I was ready to give them credit for. Because last week, triple threat, he won, but it was a fluke. Well, he was able to come up, just a second faster than anybody else. Well, this week you get to prove it wasn't a fluke and it wasn't any given Sunday. That he has the cojones to back it up and the talent, and I feel like they did a good job with that. They didn't give him a mic. You don't have to hear him say that, everybody believes in superheroes. They just recapped the win, and they had Lana get some heat with the crowd for Bobby so people would root for Ricochet more, and I felt like they had a really good match. The shooting star press looked great. The spine buster looked like Christ. He knocked the soul out of him. And the 630 for the win was a good sell, and
he waffled him. That's why.
That
hit him in the sternum.
Spinebuster was crazy, and then the 630 splash, all of his weight came down. I know people said they hate taking that and the swanton more than anything.
Oh God, dude! And you know how scary it is when I watch that because I've seen people's hearts stop from being punched right here. So when you chop somebody, you're actually smacking with your whole hand, kind of sometimes, and you're hitting them all the time in the heart area, and that. I know that sounds crazy, like nothing ever happens. I don't know why I'm a worry wart or whatever, but when I see people chop the fuck out of someone right here, I always go, oh my God, because I've seen people get waffled. And this is right where your heart, something can go wrong and your heart can be crushed or stop. when you're hit here. You know, it's why like you've seen guys in hockey die.
Yeah, because that trauma happens in the heart.
Right
the sac around the peritoneal sac fills with fluid, and it basically causes your heart to stop pumping.
Yeah, so it's like that. I don't know. That
it
always
swells and stops.
When you see a guy like Ricochet come down on it, I don't know. That's just me worrying. I'm like, someday somebody, you know, it never happens. But I mean, it just feels like someday somebody's gonna get fucking killed by one of those. But yeah, Ricochet rotated good. It's amazing how accurate he is. He hit the sternum perfectly because
it evenly distributed his weight, but it still looks like
most of his weight was momentum off of Bobby, so he rolls just beautifully. But yeah, he really got hit in the sternum horrifically. It looked like, but whatever.
That was a really tough landing, but it was done right. But like you said, Ricochet's not great in the promo department. He's very just leaves a lot to be desired, and then that's unfortunate. I wonder how he'd do as a heel. I don't want to see him turn heel. I'm just curious if it would be any better, if his delivery would be more believable. Hopefully this build towards Lesnar, though, they get it right. I don't want to hear about him being a fan. I don't want to hear about superheroes. Just let him back it up in the ring, I think, is the best bet.
Right.
Then everything with Randy Orton and Matt Hardy was great. I'm surprised, they had Matt come out at first. I was like, oh, they're going to feed. And then the fact that they gave Matt a mic, I thought we were going to see the attack early on. But no, and the speech, I mean, of all people to hate Edge, that made a great deal of sense. People were like, why would you have Matt defend him? And I was like, did you listen to what Matt said? He said, I because of, you hear the leader.
Well, they've already made up, too. They've already been made up. Everybody should know that.
Yeah, but people, well, exactly as well, but
I don't think they've really I think they
haven't really addressed that on air.
Yeah, in canon or whatever you want to call it.
Exactly. So it worked out well to see him come out and people be like, wow, knowing how much he hated Edge, he can still respect him enough, because he said as soon as Edge was forced to retire, every ounce of hate I had for him was, alleviated. It was disappeared. It floated away. And he said, I love doing this and performing, and this is my everything. And then Edge being able to make the most miraculous return ever, and you took that away from him. What the hell is wrong with you? And as soon as he says that, goes for the RKO, and he gets out of it and starts striking Orton back viciously. And then Orton, of course, is able to make him succumb to another RKO attempt, and he hits it perfectly. And then he does the chair shot and rolls out of the ring, and Orton shoving the sign as he's walking away, and just more heel, but he looks conflicted. So Orton's acting is top notch. It's just so bittersweet, like I said before, because I hate to see Matt Hardy go. I hate that this is his last appearance in WWE. When later on down the road, I don't see him ever coming back, honestly. Maybe as a guest or something, but as far as wrestling,
I could see him coming back in a creative role.
Yeah, creative, maybe, that's most likely. But for him coming back as a wrestler, I think his days are done. Wherever he goes, he already said he didn't have much time left.
Yep.
He was worried about his spine and things like that. He addressed a while back. And so obviously I feel like this is it. That was his swan song moment, was the concerto,
Yeah, he's done. He's definitely done.
So it is a very bittersweet goodbye.
Yeah, he said goodbye on Twitter. It doesn't mean he can't be offered something, and then him and Rebby decide, fuck it. They may look at their kids.
Yeah.
They may look at their kids, and they'll be like $4 million, $5 million for 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything is possible, but
yeah, seriously.
More than likely, he's said it before. He's made this whole Free the Delete series. He's tired. He wants to have creative freedom, and I think his aspirations are really to go elsewhere.
Yeah, dude, if I was Matt, I think I'd want to leave with all this bullshit. I'd want to leave because I'd be like, I can make I can make my own content and create my own world on my YouTube channel, and I can go around to independent bookings everywhere, continuing that story on my own, with the independent audience and the internet audience knowing exactly what I'm doing, and I can play to crowds of 300, you know what I mean, every couple days a week, meanwhile creating a show on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
He never has to be committed to anything. And if AEW wants to sign him to, 5 matches a year and, 10 appearances a year, and he can still do the YouTube and his own independent thing, man, that is like it's pretty amazing. It's kind of like even what I'm doing right here. It's like, does Joe Cronin want to go work in Florida for a radio station for $30,000 a year and be told what I can and can't say and be confined and have to work 11 hours and these programming ideas and this horrible shit for $30,000 a year? Or do I want to make a little bit more than that and sit in my basement here and do whatever the fuck I want to do? Like, it's,
not be produced, not be scripted.
Right. I'm my own guy. Sometimes I could use a producer stuff, maybe some things, but
I'm saying you're not forced to follow any playbook but your own.
It's pretty amazing, and he has that ability now and that gift, and so I could see him doing it. But you do have to look at $4 or $5 million for 3 years and be like, whoa, shit, maybe we should just do that, and I can come back to this idea of working on my own 3 years from now. Why? God, we're going to turn down $4 million a year. Let's just take that, and then I can always go back to being on my own. But I think he's biting his lip the last year and a half. I think he is ready to explode inside.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way. And especially with his correspondence on Twitter with other, people and legends and wrestlers and the series that he's created. And you can see that he's really has a great desire to finish that, delete story.
He's like
that
a painter.
Broken brilliance.
He's like a painter that's being told, you can only paint these things. He's like a creative painter. He can paint all these creative ideas.
They just won't buy him more paint.
It's like, here, listen, Matt, here, you have to keep painting a bridge. Keep painting a house and a bridge. Keep painting a house and a bridge. And he's like, but I'm telling you, I have this great idea of a sci-fi future where I could draw these things and the lights could be coming in and maybe there's flying cars over here. That's nice, Matt. Draw a bridge, please. And eventually you fucking snap. And it doesn't matter. Like you said, the money doesn't matter. The insanity and the creative juices that won't be allowed to leave. That's why he's doing the YouTube channel. He's been doing it more and more for the last year. Because he's losing his fucking mind at this place that won't let him create. Let's go back to the donations again. I forgot.
Super Chat Party.
Mr. Juan G, who basically helped Broken Lion win the other night on the wheel. What's up, Juan G? I'm sorry, Super Chats don't count towards the goal. I don't know why. They count in the bank, though. So thank you, Juan G. Appreciate it, man. Let me check the chat real quick while we wait for the next one to come in. Let me see. WWE Woken bullshit was cringe. Yeah, the broken stuff was so good, and of course WWE put their spin on it and ruined it. Like, they ruined everything. If that's not an example of how everything is worse in the main roster of WWE, that is a perfect example of it. It wasn't that the fans didn't get it. They didn't get it because you didn't allow them to get it. You just were like, hey, bring out the character that you did somewhere else and like with the theme of that and never tell the story of what it is. That makes sense to all the casuals who don't know what the fuck Matt Hardy's doing.
Give me a hell yeah!
What's Steve Blackman doing nowadays? His kicking style would mesh well with Aleister Black. What do you think? Also, what do you think about Drew keeping the title all the way to Survivor Series where he finally retires The Undertaker 30 years to the day?
I don't know what Steve Blackman's doing. He was awesome when he came out and stuff like that. I wasn't a big fan, but I liked that he had a different style, and I hate the kicking style, so I wouldn't want to see that match. What was the next thing you said, though, man? I really want to go back to that donation. Why hate donated this about an hour ago. I'm going to play the donations now, so get them in now if you'd like to drop a couple bucks. Now's the time to do it.
Sorry, Drew keeping the title all the way to Survivor Series. Retire The Undertaker 30 years to the day.
I don't like that idea. It's too long-term booking.
I don't mind him holding the title till then, but
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Again, with the things today, how they are.
People can hold the title. It's just a matter of who they're facing.
Yeah, I don't.
We've seen people hold on to the title for a long time and do quite well. Baszler held on to it forever. Daniel Bryan had a long run. But who else had a long run? Kofi, and his run to me wasn't as great. So
I'd consider writing down on a pen and paper like Drew McIntyre retires Undertaker ? Circle, and I'd put it down with my notes or with my ideas, but I wouldn't think anything else of it. I wouldn't think like make sure he keeps the belt. I wouldn't write any of that. So I like the idea, and I'd write it down, keep it saved, and potentially could use it. But I wouldn't pen that in as fact or as 100%, but I would entertain it. I don't think you need the title in there for a whole year, though. So, yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, you could put that in a very big question mark, maybe, but that's not
What
something
else we
that.
got? Oh,
needs
a
to
little
happen.
bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly?
Duane
Look at
the
this
Cock
stuff.
Johnson.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Just got finished watching the Attitude Era from 1997 to 2002. So many unbelievable moments and larger-than-life characters. The MVPs are Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, Triple H, Heel, Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, Mr. McMahon, and Paul Bearer.
Duane the Cock Johnson, thanks, man. I hope you had fun watching the Attitude Era from 97 to 2002. And also credit to you for starting in 1997. Some people fuck up and they start in 1998. It's really good that you started in 1997. I'd even say to anybody out there who's going to get into the Attitude Era, if you're younger, if you're like 18 or 17 or 15 or 20 or 25, and you missed the Attitude Era, and you only saw maybe like Ruthless Aggression or after that, I would start in 1996, to be honest, because it gives you a good perspective of how it changes into 97, and then 97 really becomes a bit of the Attitude Era, really has this grit and grind. And then if you really want to see why they call that the Attitude Era, I would say maybe look at 1993 or 1994 and see how goofy it was. Especially 95 was like
we got clowns and trashmen and repo guys. Come on.
Men on a mission, ready to go. Like, it was so fucking horrible. Like, I mean, but even that, like, the best thing about that, though, was the selling was so good. Like, the punching, the kicking. Like, Bam Bam Bigelow in a match with, like, Doink is more, it like, appears to be more heavy-hitting than anything we see now. Guys are doing, like, ballet and, like, little springboard off this. But yet Doink and Bam Bam Bigelow, they probably went in that ring and hurt themselves less than anybody hurts themselves now. But they looked like they were fucking beating the shit out of each other. They were selling. The selling is so good, like, compared to now. I mean, because you had to sell. Now it's like, quickly get up so I can do flip thing over here. The wrestling now sucks. I hate this wrestling. Like, no match connects with me really anymore where I'm like, wow. Now, you have matches that are awesome in NXT where you're like, wow, this is like a fucking car wreck. It's awesome. It's just people are just diving everywhere and all these things. I'd compare it to TLC. I blame TLC for this because when you watch TLC, it's awesome because it's so crazy what's going on all over the place. And you're like, this is awesome. But the matches that used to happen, like Roddy Piper, Bret Hart, or, Macho Man, Ric Flair, or, Hogan versus Macho Man, or Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, or Razor and Shawn Michaels, matches, or like matches from NWA or WCW or wherever, or Bret Hart versus Stone Cold, matches that like started out with, yeah, this is going to be a feud and we'll see what happens, but then it develops into this just story that's amazing, and it's like, wow, and then the match is like fucking, you're into it, and the crowd's popping, and you can feel it. It's a different vibe. Now it's more like, I just watch NXT and I'm like, that was awesome, but I kind of don't care about it anymore that much after it. Even though I was like, that was awesome, 8 out of 10, I really enjoyed it. But then I kind of don't really ever care that much about it again. But like those, like Bret Hart and Stone Cold, I go back and watch it all the time. Even stuff from 2006, I go back and still watch. And there's some things I go back and watch Daniel Bryan. Versus Triple H versus Cena.
You know who had a really good mix of like fast pace but great selling was Benoit, honestly.
Yeah.
When I rewatched a few matches the other day because one of the only other pay-per-views I went to, he was the headliner, and going back and watching that match, when he used to do obviously like the triple suplex and stuff of that nature. Like, he was really good at adding some really fast-paced things, but then he was so heavy-handed other times, and then mixing in the selling in between, and you really thought he died in some moments. So
yeah, like I would say like Guerrero and Benoit are like a couple guys that kind of bridge the gap from, like, there's Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart and Ric Flair, and then the next level is like then there's Benoit and Eddie Guerrero and like Rey Mysterio. But now it's like another level, and that level, I don't like it. I don't like what they do now.
Sadly, they've been trying to find that new Guerrero or Mysterio for ever. It seems like,
Yeah.
you know, they've been for ages now.
It's because no one sells. Like it comes down to me that nobody sells.
Yeah. So I mean, what year did Eddie pass away? 2006, 6.
And it's not that they don't sell, because they do sell, but it's the way they sell. These guys sold like, just like, I don't know, man. It was so believable, and they were charismatic, and they were hard. It seemed like it was crazy. Now,
another thing WWE has to stop doing is spoiling things ahead of time, because the
here we
Elimination
go.
Chamber lineup was just announced.
I'll
in
spoil it right
Philadelphia.
for you. Roman's gonna win.
Yeah, we got Roman, Braun, Daniel Bryan, Nakamura, Baron Corbin, and Bobby Roode. And the winner will face the Universal Champion at WrestleMania.
Why is Bobby Roode in this match?
Because they need someone to die.
I mean, like,
that's what it is. They need someone to take the first pinfall.
why is Bobby Roode in this match?
And that advert was sent to us by many people, so thank you all. But
yeah,
I'm telling you.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I don't know why they just can't get ahead of themselves at times. You know, it's always, we knew about so many times this past year. Think about it, where we've heard of it before they even announced the pay-per-view on TV. Anyways, they haven't mentioned Elimination Chamber once, but now we know essentially the main event.
Do you know what this picture tells me?
What's that?
What do you think this picture tells me, Jake?
That all the Mania predictions were right as 6 months ago.
Well, you're right. That does tell me that. But it tells me that beards are in.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, beards are so in right now. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they have the whole, you know, beard oil, manscaping. You know, that's like one of the top sellers is men grooming. I
believe that it has something to do with Game of Thrones and Vikings and all these shows. Is that what?
That's a good correlation. That certainly could be a.
Yep, I think
a
women.
rhyme and reason.
I think women are like horny for that type of thing. I mean, they always have.
Because that's viewed as like a man's man, because they had to be men in that era.
Yeah.
They were strong and tough, and
yep.
So I could see that correlation easily.
And
being
their
made.
dads had these beards. Women who are now 20 and 30, their dads had these beards because at one point the beards were in the late 70s.
Goatees in both 70s, and they made like a
And
small
80s.
resurgence in the 90s as well.
Yeah.
You know, like late 80s, early 90s.
So that's what's going on here. And it even happened with me because years ago, the girls liked my clean-shaven face. Like, I had a clean-shaven face, kind of looked like Eminem. Like, girls loved it. It was crazy. And now I find, like, I mean, I look like shit, but, like, let's go, like, Leah is like, oh, I like when you have hair. Don't shave your face. Like, and I'm like, well, that's not what you thought years ago. So something about these shows has hornyized women. It is hornized women. Women are, like, wet down below for anything like this. So, yeah, so the beards are back, man. That's what it tells me. But it's funny how the world works like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the 90s, in the late 90s, and especially early 2000s, late 90s, shaven was totally in. It was all about, like, you know, you got to look like this
clean as a whistle.
Clean dude with like gelled hair. Like they wanted like the poppy, like, because NSYNC and all those groups were really Justin Timberlake and Eminem and all these guys. I'm telling you, man, it's psychological. Women are staring at the TV. Yeah, they're
hair
staring.
gel.
If they're horny like for like Eminem, like women are horny for Eminem and horny for like fucking Justin Timberlake and these like baby face guys. Lance Bass, I know he takes it up the ass, but he looked like a fucking baby doll, and the girls are just like, oh my god, and so like they grew up like, oh, I'm so horny by this, and then eventually they got older, and then these like Vikings and Game of Thrones are on now. It's a whole different vibe. It's so funny how the world. And that's all because of what you're seeing. It's what you're seeing. You're seeing it and you're liking it, and you're like, oh, I love that guy, and then you start feeling like you love that type of thing. It's very bizarre. Like, it's I don't know, what are we talking about right now? What the fuck has happened? Let's go back to either news or the Raw review. Or you know what's coming? What's going to be in next is period mouth.
Yeah, that's the next big trend. Speaking of which, we have the 2 Wake, if I'm saying that correctly.
Even Eminem has a beard. Eminem has a beard now.
Yeah, he does.
That's a great point. Now Eminem has a beard now. You nailed
Justin
it.
Timberlake's had one for a while.
Yeah, see? These fuckers are wearing them now. So now the women are like, oh, yeah, now he looks like a man. Because when they were like when they were touching their mouse to them like a few years ago, they were like, oh, I remember when I used to like fucking, I wanted to marry him when I was a teenager. But now they look at him and they're like, ew, he's like a baby. Like, ew. I mean, I don't know. He was still hot and stuff, but like, that's so weird.
Yeah, the perception changed big time.
But now they got like the facial hair and they're like, oh my God, he's like my dad now. No, fuck him. I don't want to fuck his asshole.
What do you think of the two-wake trophy gauntlet match that they announced tonight for Super Showdown?
I just went, I don't, fuck this.
What a waste. That is Andrade's return match. So that'll be the day after him returning for suspension. So instead of defending the U.S. title, it's him, Bobby Lashley, Rowan, Rusev, R-Truth, and AJ Styles is listed for that match as well, which I found very interesting. And that's for Super Showdown. So
he is
I
going.
wonder if AJ will be back by then. We'll see, but
Eminem looks weird with a beard. Yeah, so don't I. I don't even have one. Eminem can grow a bigger beard than me. Yeah, fuck, dude. Anything Saudi Arabia, I don't care. Whenever they start mentioning hey, this is going down at Saudi Arabia, that's going down at Saudi Arabia, I start.
Yeah, because we've had the best in the world trophy, the best tag team in the world. We've had the greatest Royal Rumble belt that Braun won. We had one other tournament, I believe, in there as well. There was something for a trophy at one point. So yeah, that's all pointless. And now this will just be another quick gimmick for someone to say, "Oh, I won the." I like what some people said. It looks like the aggro crag from Guts.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it looks like. So
that thing was awesome.
Oh, I have to laugh, but TSS is right on the money tonight. He said Seth Rollins literally is a straight copy of Jay White for his look, and you can't argue that.
Jay
at
White?
all.
Who's Jay White?
From New Japan.
Oh.
He has that out and out look entirely, with the pose and the leather jacket, the way the hair is, all of it. It just.
I'm
trying
to look at him now. Wasn't he in the Bullet Club for a little while?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they look similar, even if Jay White doesn't dress like him or they don't dress like each other. I mean he's less
of his his look now, but still, the leather jacket and the posing, and it looks just, almost identical. So
well, Seth is older, so fuck him. Hey, look, I mean, even Jay White figured it out. He was baby faced, and now he's got the beard. Yeah, he's like, see, I gotta go.
He's got the vest, the beard, and. What do you think about the rumor that?
Oh, it's by the way, it's psychological with men too. Can I just jump back to that? It's psychological with men too, because guys see other guys being worshipped by girls who are manly, and what happens then? Other guys who are trying to be cute, clean shaven are like, oh shit, these.
Well, even
I gotta be a man. I'm gonna be a bigger man.
You judge people as having less testosterone and being less manly. Oh, you can't grow facial hair. Somehow that's a stigma for people not being able to, and that's just hereditary, but. It's viewed as being less of a man, and so.
Yeah. Oh, dude, trust me. I mean, I get it all the time. People are like, Joe, you're half a guy with your beard or whatever, and I'm like, hey, man. I mean, it doesn't bother me because fuck it, I know because
I got 9 inches where it counts. So
I'm humping the hell out of I just look at my wife. I mean, when I met her, she was blazing hot. You know what I mean? That didn't mean she's hot still to me. I love her. So fucking it doesn't matter. I'm not in that competition. I'm not in I gotta be this alpha male and I'm going after people. It doesn't bother me. I got 3 kids. I'm in a house. I got my wife, and fuck, I'll just kick your ass if you want to fight. But it's not so it doesn't bother me.
Shovel.
But a lot of these guys are 28, 25, in their early 30s. They're still single, and they're sniffing, and they're trying to look, I got more testosterone than him. I got a big fucking dick too. I got a ball. I gotta show you. I'm gonna be the alpha. You want to be the alpha? I'll be the fucking alpha. You want to be the alpha? I'll fuck the hell out of you, and then I'll go out there. I'll be a wrestler. I'll put on a wrestling match that you've never seen before. I will fucking. You see my fucking chest? I'll stick my fucking chest out. You want to fucking chop it? Go ahead. And they start getting horny, and then before you know it, they're butt pumping each other.
What else
a donation.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. That's it. Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
Shayna versus Priscilla Kelly's bloody cunty tampon. Red circle. Aubergine. 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 Zany face. Zany face. Zany face. Cold face. Hot face. Alien. Poop. JD. Cat. Kobe, helicopter, fire, pig, chicken, last quarter moon with face, peach, mountain bicyclist, factory, cityscape, equalizer, Nazar amulet, microbe, balloon, Rio, versus, Batista's big fat dick.
Pour me a beer, you've got a new subscriber.
Q-Tip Live, thanks for subscribing. I thought he already was subbed. What's up, Q-Tip? Welcome to the show, man. Pour a beer for Q-Tip in the chat, motherfuckers, and hit that like button. Let's get to 200 likes before 947 watching. If we only get to 177 likes, I mean, let's just cut my head off
Super
at this
chat.
point.
Super chat.
Reports saying Iconics repackage may be new brood.
Wait a minute. So now that's actually being reported. I liked it, kind of.
I didn't hear anything about them being the new brood, but I did hear them being repackaged. That's been talked about over the weekend.
Wow.
$9 for a fuck. Someone donated 9. I'm getting hard. I got 9 inches inside of your wife. $9. I'm shooting my semen to the ceiling. I'm coming and my balls have turned blue. $9. Suck my dick.
Suck, fuck.
Suck my dick. Points to Jake.
Oh, Kenzo Amore. Thank you for the $9.
Yeah, I miss Enzo Amore, so thank you, Kenzo.
Kenzo, how you been, man?
Can't teach that.
You can't teach my dick. All right, let's go with a call, man. I'm going to take the one and only call we can take because Skype has a glitch, and they let you take one call for some reason. So let's hope it's a good one because you can only take one. 412, hello.
Hey, Joe, Jake, what the fuck's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
What's going on?
Hey, just wanted to make a couple comments here. Just wanted to point out a couple things. First off, commentary was fucking abysmal tonight.
Oh, Jerry Lawler.
Jerry Lawler's been saying it every week. I've never seen this before on Raw before. Like, it's every week he says that same fucking thing.
Yeah, I've never seen anything.
That's killing me.
That's hilarious.
They need somebody. He's trying to be the guy that says, like, you guys are lame and I'm the heel, but he's lame. Like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, he's kind of being the heel, but it's so bad. Like, it's so cheap and just boring and lazy. Get Jerry out of there and put somebody in there who can be a cunt. Put somebody in there that's for real.
That's terrible. And then my other point is, Charlotte needs to learn how to do a fucking proper woo. Her woo is terrible.
Who?
I mean, that's
Charlotte. Yeah,
Charlotte.
Oh
she
yeah,
sounds like a broken fire alarm.
Yeah,
that's
she goes
on the batteries.
Woo!
Yeah,
That's
like
what
a
she
smoke
does.
detector
fucking
that's
horrendous.
aging.
Charlotte, your dad is Ric Flair, Charlotte. Woo! Like woo, woo, woo. Let me tell you something. Woo! Not woo. What the fuck is she doing? I want to stab
So bad.
myself.
And then my last thing, maybe this is more for out of nowhere, probably, but did you see that The Rock's daughter signed with
Yes.
WWE, and she is really fucking ugly?
Oh. Whoa. If you smell. Well, she looks
I
like.
saw somebody say, I hope, talents pass through genetics because looks certainly weren't.
Well, no, she looks like The Rock. She looks like The Rock. That's the problem. She looks like The Rock.
She just looks like male Rock, but she's female.
The Rock with a cunt.
I think she's pretty. I think she's kind of pretty. I don't think she's ugly.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I think she's kind of cute.
Yeah, I don't know. She's kind of got like big gums.
Look at the eyebrows
that
and the
big
smile.
rock mouth.
It looks like teenager Rock with a wig on.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
it
sorry.
looks like.
I know my fat ass doesn't have much room to be hypercritical, but just point out the obvious here.
Why is that the first thing that? Why do we do that to these poor women? The first thing we
I
bring
know,
up is
I know,
like they're
but
ugly.
I do it to guys too, so it's both sides. I would say it about
She's a but dude,
I think
do you remember?
she gets more scrutiny because of being the Rock's daughter
poor
as well.
thing.
So she's
I
really
feel
gonna
bad
have
for
to
her.
be like exemplary in the ring. Unfortunately for her.
But when The Rock first showed up, he didn't look very good either. This is like
no.
Like look at The Rock now. You're like, yeah, that's The Rock. Yeah, look, there's The Rock's daughter. She looks all right there, by the way. But there's The Rock's
that's a
daughter.
better
There's
picture
The Rock.
too as well.
But bring The Rock from 1997 up and like take a picture of like what he looked like. He looked like a goofy fuck back then.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I mean, I'm serious. Like
people change and evolve. That's what I'm saying. She's got a chance, but
look at let's take a look at The Rock in '97. I mean, The Rock in 1997, he looked like a fucking he looked like
still
a
has
dildo.
the foundation of a good-looking individual, though. You can see.
I don't know.
It's not going to take much to change.
I don't think so. I think he looks like a Maserati crashed into a pile of dog manure right there.
It's the smile and it's the stance and the hair that really sets you apart.
No, man, he just don't.
Yeah, I think at this point, I'd probably rather fuck Rocky Johnson than the Rock's daughter. I don't know.
Holy shit! It's he just. I don't know. You know. Some people. It's weird. Some people. It's like little kids. You know. Some people get better looking as they get older.
I think it just might be a really bad photo too in the performance center because there's bad shadows. Gives her like a.
I am somebody.
Facial hair look.
I myself am somebody who is definitely going to look uglier as I get older. Like I'm somebody. I wish I wasn't, but it's true. I looked way better when I was younger. Like because the younger you go on me, the more I look. I think I look better. But the older I get, the more I look like dad fucking face and dog face. Like I'm just starting to look uglier. The Rock got better.
But at least you have a marketable look, though. Shit, at least you have like an identifiable look. I mean, you don't look like shit. You know, you don't look like Grimm's Toy Show where you just look like a pile of shit on camera. You at least have like an identifiable look.
Oh my god. Yeah, at least some women like me. I mean, there's not many of them, but there's a few that like me. But yeah, look
you got Leah. That's all that matters.
That's exactly right. That's all I care. Like I already got the hot girl back in the day, so like I already sealed that up. Now I can look like shit.
Oh my god, is that really Brock Lesnar's daughter?
Oh, god, yeah.
Bad. Oh my god.
That's Brock Lesnar with a blonde wig on.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
bad.
I don't. If you want to talk,
holy shit.
Oh my god.
See how much better the Rock look. Even if the Rock takes his glasses off here, he still looks better. I thought you'd seen her. I saw her months ago. I know that I'm a savage fucking asshole, but I actually chose not to talk about that because I felt bad. I'm not kidding. Like I actually chose that. Like her match or whatever came out 7 months ago or something, and I saw it and I went, oh my Christ, and it was all over Twitter, and I chose not to talk about it. Maybe it's because I have a daughter now, because I'm like, oh god, I would never, like, I don't know. I think it's because I have a daughter. I don't want to make fun of Brock. I just don't want to say anything. So I just didn't say anything. But oh man,
but if we say it for the Rock, then we got to say it for the Brock. You know, it's only fair.
Yeah, Lesnar's daughter looks like she will fuck you. You don't fuck her. She will fuck you.
At least she's an extreme athlete. You know, apparently she's really, really goddamn talented.
Yeah. Apparently, I mean, if you're fucking got those kind of genetics, you should have some sort of talent.
She's a state champion, the 6th best shot putter in the country. She got signed for the Sun Devils.
She looks like a Sun. She looks like
ugly.
She looks like a Sun Devil. She is a Sun Devil. Like, I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, it's brutal. Well, that's all I really wanted to say, guys. This is Paul 3. Once again, great show. As always, love you guys. So
Thanks,
have
Paul.
a good night. Appreciate it.
Much love,
good shit, man. I'm glad you got through because you're the only one who can. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe on another day when I'm in a bad mood, I'd shit on these girls, but
no, I don't want to shit on them. It's just, I think that's a really bad photo because I look at other photos of her and she doesn't look that bad. I think the one they released for the Performance Center is just not a great photo.
It's just like I feel bad because
other photos that I see here look much, much better. So
I feel bad because here's why. Because if you, like, I just don't. I mean, I don't know. Would we? If The Rock had a son, would we sit there being like, look at how ugly The Rock's son is?
Oh, I'm sure. Looks are a part of the business. That
you think he would sit there and make fun of his son? You think so?
Absolutely. We pick on people as is now. Look at us going after Ginger's nipples.
Like Humberto Carrillo, it looks like he has no bottom jaw.
Yeah. Looks are certainly a huge part of it. That's why I said now Drew having the facial hair and stuff, the ladies are in love with him. Before he looked like a sissy pants, essentially.
I'm not above. I'm not trying to pretend like I'm above making fun of people. I'll shit on people. I'm just like oh man, we're already going into The Rock's daughters. Like what? Like what the fuck? How old is she? Like 19, 18?
I think she's 19, but.
Yeah, Paul had a great call.
I just know that she's going to have a harder time because she's The Rock's daughter. So
of course, yeah. I mean, look at Nia.
Hopefully she's exemplary.
She's better looking than Nia.
Absolutely.
I mean, honestly,
no doubt about that.
Maybe not her face. Like Nia's got a nice face, but Nia's a big lump of shit.
Yeah.
Like.
From one lump of shit to another lump of shit. That's a lump of shit.
Nia's bigger than you, though. Like, I mean, she's a girl and she's bigger than you. Shit. She's bigger than a man, by far. Sadly. I mean, dude, that Steph is a MILF. Yeah, Steph is hot.
Oh yeah,
Steph has always been hot, man. Remember when we were like when I was 16 or whenever 14? Yeah, when I was 15 and Steph debuted or whatever.
She had that kind of awkwardish look a little bit still, but
yeah, I was like, dude, Britney Spears, like holy shit, is she hot? Like she had the whole Britney Spears of wrestling thing going on.
Yeah.
My God, I wanted to kidnap her. She was like what?
And then
23?
all of a sudden she started to do the different styles with her hair and outfits, and it was like, holy shit, it's a different person.
Yeah, like Vince, like it's weird. This is like Vince, but it's a girl and she's hot. Like it's weird.
And then she got implants.
And she got implants, yeah.
And then Jericho called her out for it.
I tugged it a couple times to Steph.
How could you not? I love what RJ Scum said in the chat before. Instead of the brood for the female vampires, it's going to be the flow.
The flow. Oh my God!
The
and
flow.
like they
That's
stand on the
great.
rampway and then just gushes out.
Oh yeah, there
Down
you go.
below.
Make it look like the Shining when the elevator doors open.
So we
That'll be their entrance.
That'd be the entrance. Like the that is the thing that plays in the background on the Titantron.
Just a flood of
just the elevator doors open.
Yeah.
The Tampax commercials that would happen.
Oh yeah.
You know, Jake. Where is it here? Where is it? Come on. Are you serious? There it is. So we're going like Roman Reigns like 100% here, right?
It certainly feels that way. I see Roman going to Mania. You know, months ago we thought that was pretty much the outcome.
And now he's in the chamber match. So
yeah, and we said months ago that for the chamber they'd be doing a universal one to pick the winner as a #1 contender, and we were spot on about that. If this report is true, then chalk one up for us. But
so everybody will probably get beat. My guess is Bryan. Is Braun Strowman on SmackDown?
yeah, Braun's in that match. It seems to be all SmackDown stars because they're going for the universal.
So I'm gonna bet that possibly the Daniel Bryan ends up in a feud with Braun Strowman for the Intercontinental Belt at WrestleMania. Maybe.
That would make sense on a
sort of.
I can see that.
But
I can see that sort of happening.
It doesn't make sense.
But everybody's kind of got a feud right now because Braun was feuding with Nakamura, Roman was feuding with Corbin, so they threw in Rude as Corbin's help. The only one that's not involved in anything is Daniel Bryan.
How about do you see a ladder match? Maybe a ladder match at WrestleMania for the IC belt because you got all these guys.
That would be great. Always, you can go back to that ladder match staple.
You can have.
I could see Braun and Corbin even going at it again for the
God.
millionth time, but I wouldn't want that.
I think Baron Corbin will either be eliminated first or he'll be the last guy eliminated by Roman.
I think it's Bobby Roode will go first.
Yep.
And then Nakamura will be taken out. Then Braun, then Daniel, and then Roman will eliminate Corbin.
Yeah, Corbin last definitely for Roman. So it's like the double satisfactory or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. I think that seems to be what they're doing 100%. Because like you said, we've already thought, oh yeah, Roman's winning, and now here's Elimination Chamber. He's in that. Of course, he's gonna win this.
Yeah, and of course, I loved what they did the other night. I was surprised, but I didn't actually think that they were going to have Goldberg challenge for the Universal title against The Fiend. I'm all about it, and the promo they had for it, with the Firefly Funhouse News, that was hilarious. I love Bray being kind of uncouth and off the cuff and getting to show a different side of himself yet again, and he's great at that role. So I even liked the response that Goldberg had. Immediately he just gets intense. You can tell a little switch flips and he snaps and Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, you're next, and walks out.
Yeah,
that was great.
It makes Bray more believable because you can get in a little bit of a trouble of. Here's why it's great. You can get in trouble of like Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, being a little silly because it seems so cartoony and stuff. But then when you get a guy who's pretty raw and real like Goldberg, being like,
intense.
I'm going to snap your neck, like type of thing, you're like, oh, fuck, like Goldberg's going to fight this guy. It just makes it feel a little more authentic. So, yeah, I love it. He's going to get his
it brings
ass
a different
kicked.
sense of credibility.
Goldberg is going to get murdered by The Fiend at this
I
event.
hope that's the case. I originally said that we'll see The Fiend to Mania, but Wrestling Observer, first Y Society went ahead and tweeted out, oh, this will be where Goldberg wins to face Roman Reigns at Mania. And I said, please God, no. That was just his, little prediction. But then we heard Wrestling Observer Dave Meltzer said, you got to protect him, and he's got to be Bill Goldberg. So if you start fucking with him, then he's not going to mean anything.
Right.
So he said, here's the thing. The reality is, for WrestleMania, the marquee value at WrestleMania, even as much as they've spent all year pushing The Fiend as this unstoppable monster, the fact is that Roman Reigns versus Goldberg could have more fan interest than Roman Reigns versus The Fiend. He said, we'll have to see, though. But
that's crazy. I mean, I get it. I think Goldberg versus anybody has value. So if that's the case, you're definitely going to have Goldberg at WrestleMania. So I'd place Goldberg against Triple H.
Yeah, because
what's Triple H doing at WrestleMania?
Nothing right now.
Goldberg, Triple H at WrestleMania.
That's a good match to have.
I mean,
if they do it short, because their original meeting was totally awful. Yeah, Elias, you said it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I know that a few people mentioned this, so it's just I'm not a fan of it. I don't want to see The Fiend lose.
No, you can't do that. The obvious
if he was
thing
facing as Bray Wyatt, then they're safe with it, but they can't ruin the build-up that they've put into The Fiend being this unstoppable
what I would do
monster.
Here's what I would do. Goldberg comes out, he's going to try to beat The Fiend. He spears The Fiend almost immediately. He can't pin him. The Fiend is Superman, like he's been pretty Superman. I'd tone it down a little bit. And I'd have Goldberg hit by The Fiend, or something would happen where The Fiend's beating up Goldberg, and Goldberg can't get it done. He's almost getting it done. Now Goldberg starts bleeding internally. So all of a sudden in the match, The Fiend does something to Goldberg, to his stomach or his chest, and Goldberg's really fucked up. And now the referee is trying to stop The Fiend and being like, get back. The Fiend's backing up. Now Goldberg's getting up, and the referee's like, are you okay? I'll stop the match. I'm going to stop the match. Like, whatever he did to you, I'm stopping the match. And Goldberg's like, no, what the hell? You're not stopping the damn match. And there's blood coming out of his mouth from it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what The Fiend can do to his stomach to do that. Like, I don't know, like drop kick him in the stomach or do something big to his stomach. Maybe he spears Goldberg or something. I don't know. But Goldberg's fucked up, and Goldberg wants to
really
continue.
messes him up.
Now the referee's calling the doctors, and the doctors are coming out and like whatever, and Goldberg's like, fuck. Goldberg throws the doctor off the fucking mat and tries to continue the match. Triple H comes down to the ring. Finally, Triple H comes down the ring like, dude, you can't do this. You got to go to the back. He's coughing up blood. The Fiend is beating him up. He's clearly beaten, and they want to get him out of there, and he won't quit the match. And finally, he hits Triple H, and then Fiend hits him and beats him, gets the pin. The referee counts the 3. The referee almost willingly like, hey, yes, please, 1, 2, 3. All right, it's over.
Yeah, end this.
Get Goldberg out of here. And now Goldberg's got a problem with Triple H. You think I'm some old dog that can't do this? You think you're just pissed off that I'm in better shape than you? You're jealous that I'm still able to compete, and you just sit at home and you run and do whatever the hell you do. And they have their little thing, and Triple H can get real as fuck on the mic and be like, you were never anybody. You were a guy who came out and beat jobbers, beat 90 jobbers and made a name for yourself off of 90 nobodies. I went out there and wrestled big-time wrestlers every week. Every week I wrestled Stone Cold. Every week I wrestled The Rock. Every week I wrestled Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, Kane. For about 90 weeks you came out and wrestled Dildo Fuckface from Bumblefuck, Tennessee. And that's how you made your name and got cheered by these people. I got cheered by these people by beating the best names ever in wrestling and in the WWE, and have this story like you were a flop when you were here before. You even lost recently to The Undertaker. You look like you didn't even belong in the ring just last year. So you can go out here and say that you're in shape and you're still doing this, and I'm sitting back somewhere. I could take 3 years off, come in here, and be 10 times better than you any day of the week. Goldberg, you bald asshole. Like that type. Oh my God, right, here we go. Goldberg and Triple H. And now
give
you
me
got
what I want. Give me what I want.
Fuck the give me what I want. Fuck the Batista. This will be better than the Batista story. Then Triple H and Goldberg come out and they give us 10 minutes. Give us 10 minutes, Goldberg and Triple H. If you gotta go, you gotta go, man, or are you good?
No, I'm good.
Okay, because we're ending probably soon anyway. But yeah, man. I mean, that's how I booked that. And
that would be perfect. That's exactly what they need to do to go ahead and just really set that on fire.
Finish it. Well, if I could sit down in a board meeting or in a fucking office with Vince McMahon and pitch that, I feel like they would do that. I feel like that would be done. If I just pitch that to Vince McMahon, they're doing that. I love the idea of Goldberg, saying, being prompted a little bit with what he's saying, but Triple H just running him over. And probably, Triple H is going to win. Goldberg, be funny if Goldberg, I would even, have they done this too much? Let me know if they've done this too much. I'm asking you, Jake. Do you remember? I think Edge did this once. Maybe Cena did it. I forget. But the old spear knocking the guy out and the plate on the stomach. Didn't Bret Hart do that too?
Yeah, Bret Hart did it originally with Goldberg.
Yeah, it was the old, yeah. I always liked the idea of that. But it wouldn't work with Triple H because he wears no T-shirt. He wouldn't be wrestling with a T-shirt. It only worked with Roman Reigns or something. But yeah,
they did a promo, it wouldn't work in the match, yeah.
Goldberg goes to spear Triple H, the referee's down, Triple H picks up a sledgehammer, hits him in the head, fucking pedigrees him, whatever. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter who wins. What matters is Goldberg, Triple H on the marquee at WrestleMania as an attraction, 8-minute match that can happen. Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, the entrances would be great.
Just give me the entrances, give me the two guys, give me some of the build-up.
Because we've seen this exact thing happen, 2017, what was it? Yeah, 33, when he faced Lesnar. He became the champion after beating Kevin Owens. And that was the story where Jericho said, you could face anybody, and then Goldberg beat Kevin Owens for the Universal title. Mm-hmm. I see no merit in having that. It would fail to accomplish so many things. Like, as much as I like Goldberg, and I'd like to see him be the champion for maybe 3 months, if they were good, at this point in time, it just doesn't really accomplish much. It doesn't elevate the belt because it's such a short run championship reign. You basically got a month with it. It doesn't give us the better outcomes after WrestleMania because it doesn't elevate the talent, and you're ruining all the work that you did to reestablish The Fiend when they ruined the character at Hell in a Cell. They've worked really hard to recover from that major catastrophe. And think about how the fans reacted when The Fiend lost then. Now, if Goldberg, a part-timer, someone retired, comes in 2 minutes, spears him a few times and wins, after everything that killed The Fiend, and he was still able to kick out, the strap match and, all the stuff we've seen beforehand. Now, Goldberg's the one to do it without explaining how The Fiend could be destroyed. They had Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan, Ramblin' Rabbit knows the secret, how to destroy The Fiend, and snitches get stitches and all that stuff. Unless they really went into it and said that, you could stop The Fiend, but you have to take his mask off or destroy the funhouse again, something, whatever they decide to do, then I would totally be against it.
Oh, someone just said Triple H used the sledgehammer spear counter on Goldberg at SummerSlam 2003.
Yeah, that's when Goldberg should have won
the title. Didn't. Well, anyway, no, but The Fiend. First of all, we know The Fiend should have never won the belt. He should have just been in these awesome highlight matches, similar to Goldust back in the day against Ahmed Johnson, and like these IC title mid card things. He should have had Mankind-like matches, feuds with guys like The Undertaker. That's what The Fiend should be doing. He shouldn't be the champion yet. He should have had all these awesome matches leading up to something eventually. So the only way to get the belt off him, because they do need to, at some point they need to get the belt off this guy. Because, well, first of all, they need to get rid of all the belts. They need to get rid of half of their belts. But to get the belt off the guy, you need to have a match like a cage match, where you can leave the cage to win. And you need to have a guy like Daniel Bryan or somebody who's been in a feud with the guy, can never beat him, and they handcuff him to the cage. They handcuff The Fiend to the cage. He's fucking flipping out. He can't get the handcuff off. And then, you climb out and you win. And it's like he beat him because he outsmarted him by putting the handcuffs on him. If you want to protect him for being the super zombie still. So that is the only way you can beat The Fiend right now. If you're really trying to make The Fiend this super monster character, but if you want to bail on that, now you want to have him just be pinned, it won't make any sense and it will kind of kill everything you did with him. But at least then from there you can establish that he's vulnerable in some way, because right now it doesn't seem like he is, and you don't really want the belt on him either. So the way to beat him is trick him into that, like Daniel Bryan be like, last time was a strap match, but I want one more shot, and this time I want it to be a steel cage. And of course he's got the idea, I'm going to handcuff him the whole time. And, he kind of looks like a shithead, but that's the way to get it off him without him being pinned. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. Some gimmick like that, First Blood. Remember Steve Austin? Like, they didn't want him to be pinned, but they wanted to do something different. They did the First Blood match with Kane, and Steve Austin bled, and he lost. He lost because he was bleeding.
Yeah, he lost.
But he didn't get his shoulders pinned down to the mat.
Exactly, and that's the problem too. People say, "Oh, the Fiend should be." It's not that I don't want to see him be a champion, ever. It just I think there was more payoff with him not being the champion and doing other things beforehand, because him getting the belt is the finale of it all. Now what? Now he has to defend it, so you have less story options. He could have had so many different feuds. He could have destroyed. His wall has a few legends on it, but he could have beaten so many more people on the way to becoming champion. He could have filled up his entire wall. Who does he have on there? Mick Foley, Kurt Angle, Kane. He could have went nuts. It could have been something monumental. Him going for the belt and losing it diminished his character drastically and really hurt a lot of people's faith in the Fiend, so that when he did win it, it felt more like a consolation prize than a victory. It felt like, here, we're just correcting our mistake, than actually we believe in Bray Wyatt. So it didn't have that same triumphant feel. Plus, it was at the Saudi show, so no one really loved it anyways.
What's crazy is they ruined both Seth Rollins and the Fiend. It feels like in that...
Yeah, they swapped them both.
They
both
both
made him
got
seem
ruined.
like a condescending jerk. And
yeah, by the time the Fiend and Seth Rollins ended, you were like, I don't really like the Fiend as much anymore, and Seth Rollins sucks.
Yeah, it definitely hurt what they were trying to establish.
And we said from the very beginning, like, no, why are these guys facing each other? Like, this doesn't make sense. And then they did it, and they literally killed both guys. Like, so many people don't like the Fiend anymore like they did, and like, it's over. Like, to me, it's still over. Like, to me, it's over. Breaking news, I think the Fiend is like pretty much kind of, I don't care. It used to be fucking let's go, like this Fiend Bray Wyatt, this is awesome. Now it's kind of like if how Matt Hardy was. They gave him, all right, here's your delete stuff, go out there. It's kind of like the Fiend. They did that with the Fiend. Here's the Firefly Funhouse. This is fun for 6 months, and now it's like, okay, now we know what your theme music is and your character. Okay, now go out there, whatever. And he doesn't grow anymore. He's not growing anymore now. There's no more to the story. He's never on TV really enough. He's never doing anything. It's not good. Seth Rollins ruined his faceness, whatever faceness he had. He was likability, and people wanted to boo him. Now he's a heel. Like, they really destroyed everything with that fucking. The hype level, that if it was at a 9 out of 10, the hype level now for the Fiend is at a 6 out of 10.
And Matt says, Brock became champion in 5 months, and I never saw anyone complain about that, because that was the trajectory for Brock Lesnar. He was, NCAA champion and came in as this ultimate beast. That was the ascension for him. That was the penultimate victory, was for him to become the champion and then defend it. With Bray, once he gets the title, it limits options for storytelling. Bray's less about in-ring action. I don't care about the Fiend wrestling, really. I care about the funhouse. I care about the promos. I care about him creeping up on people and taking them out and dragging them to hell. And all the story, vignette, promo stuff is what I'm interested in. When he's the champion, he's put on his heels. He has to be defensive. It doesn't feel as creatively fluent as it does with Brock being, the champion, the guy. That was what was, his purpose in life. That was his ultimate driving goal. With the Fiend, it doesn't even really make sense as to why he'd want to be the champion. Really, in his wellhouse, what's the driving force for him to be the best? It doesn't really seem like anything he wanted to accomplish. He wanted to instill fear and make people pay for their past transgressions against Bray Wyatt. He wanted to fuck up Daniel Bryan for betraying him at the Royal Rumble. He wanted to attack Seth Rollins for attacking him. He wanted to take down Kane because, he had history with all these people and he addressed it. And that's what I like about the Fiend character. But it didn't really fit with him becoming champion right away. I'm not saying it shouldn't happen, but I don't think it should have happened yet.
Right, I agree. Yeah.
Realistically.
Yeah. Yeah, and he should have became champion eventually. But yeah, he should have had these.
Ronda Rousey, he said, that they put the title on her quick. But that's what Ronda's point was, to become the champion and elevate that belt. She came from UFC as a real champion, as a real fighting champion, someone who was known to finish matches in the first round within the first 10 seconds. She was known as a legitimate badass, and there was going to be no one to stop her. And that was the point. They had to build up someone to stop her. So her story fit as her becoming the champion. So, I mean, it's just not comparable in my eyes.
Right.
You can have someone come in and win it in a month. If that's the story that fits, then so be it.
Let me. I guess we got to go back to.
I mean,
donations.
it's all opinions, but
yeah. No, I'm with you on those. I think I agree. It's like it's so weird. This is their timing is always off. Let me go back to the donation.
Give me a hell yeah! The Rock daughter better looking than Tamina. That's ugly bitch.
Oh.
Tamina Namoy cause I don't like blacks.
Oh.
Baszler and Ruby Riot I wouldn't fuck. Wait till get drunk and have them suck my dick from wheelchair.
Ugh.
Who's your guy's least attractive?
Dun, 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 I don't know, man. I'd probably go. I don't know. Luna Vachon? I don't know. Oh. Oh.
I know this is a little off topic, but I truly believe that the handling of The Undertaker the past 5 years has been one of the worst things WWE has done in recent history. Absolutely terrible incompetence that pissed off fans and tarnished his legacy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they made the best decisions. I don't think it ruined it 100%, but they definitely...
They destroyed a lot of what made him special, though.
Yeah, pissing all over
Jab.
Debe. Thank you.
Jab.
Pissing over Debe.
Good luck on your surgery, Jake. Much love, dudes.
Thanks, Paul. When's your surgery, Jake?
I get a date Friday. I go sign consent then, so we'll find out Friday.
Which surgery is this? Do you tell everybody?
This is my whole stomach repair, and bariatric, and all that fun shit.
That's going to be crazy.
Ruby Riot
Yeah.
for 2020 Ms. Mipe.
Money in the bank for Ruby Riot. She really has been a good competitor. And pretty
I
good.
wish
pretty
they
good.
they showcased her tonight. You know, that was one of the things I was looking forward to seeing on Raw was continuation of Ruby Riot's, story they started last week with why did she betray Liv? We didn't get that though, so
Right.
maybe it's for the best. They'll save something, but when you have maybe 2 or 3 stories that you really want to see, it's unfortunate when you keep any of those off.
I'm just fucking reading something.
No worries. But I mean, realistically, for all the stories that they have right now, you figure Edge is kind of at the forefront with Randy, but you knew Edge wasn't going to be there.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want
That's
some
it.
bubbly?
Bubbly.
Look at this stuff. A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it. That's it.
What's up, Joe and Jake? Just a thought, what if the way to get the belt off the Fiend is to have Demon Balor versus Fiend at SummerSlam as have Finn win? Also, how many matches will be on the main Mania card? I'm guessing 14.
Probably a lot of matches. San Jose Sharks referees, thank you for the $3. If they get way to get the belt off the Fiend is to have Demon Balor versus Finn at SummerSlam. Oh yeah, so Demon Balor versus
And that
Bray.
continues the story.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, think about it. Everybody the Fiend has faced, he's changed. So it works out. Daniel Bryan, you bring back the Yes Movement. When he faced Seth, he turned him heel. When he faced Finn Balor, he went back to NXT and turned heel. He's changed every person that he's come into contact with. That's kind of what they're going for so far. So for the starting point to be Finn Balor, for the one to finally beat him being Demon Finn Balor, that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only one that's his weakness, a demon.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. And then it'd be a good way for him to get that win to a very powerful thing. And then in the future, it's possible somebody else could beat him then. And you're kind of backing off a little bit from the overpowered insanity.
Yeah, because that breaks his confidence as the Fiend or something. You could find a way to write that in, but make it seem believable too.
Yeah, do something.
Once you kick that of 10 stomps, you're kind of at a crossroads with what you can do to
Ruby did cut a
make him
promo on Live
get
tonight.
a 3 count on.
Ruby did
that's what it comes down to.
Ruby did cut a promo on Live tonight. Yeah, well, I saw it.
Did she? Then I missed it entirely. When was that?
Really? It was in the back. Yeah, she was on the back. She had lipstick, and she
then
was
I
like,
missed that entirely.
Oh yeah,
I didn't see it at all.
She said something like it was like, Liv always needs
me.
Liv's a follower. She needs somebody to lead her. Like I'm just she can put on whatever colors on her body she wants or dress however she wants, but she's still just a follower. and something about so I'm gonna have to treat her like one or something like that. I don't know. It was okay.
Oh, apparently it was after the Matt Hardy part. I missed that entirely. It must have been quick.
Wow, I can't believe I saw something you didn't. That's funny.
Yeah, I didn't see that at all.
Happen.
Must have been quick then, because I remember I saw Aleister Black come out. But one time I probably went to the bathroom thinking there was commercials. I take that back then. Criticism repented.
Thanks to the I want to say thanks to the $25 producers every week, obviously. First of all, shout out to Broken Lion, baby. Broken Lion, the king of the wheel this Sunday. He is the king of the wheel, Broken Lion, the king of the community. Broken Lion, that honor was bestowed upon him by the community, by the JCS Army, this Sunday on my gaming stream as we had the wheel competition that was very successful. So shout out to Broken Lion, OG, gets the victory. Who will win next Sunday? Or can Broken Lion keep his title? That could happen. Adtr, want to thank the $25 producer level guys. These are people who are patrons, but they're not $1, $5, or $10. They're $25 and above. Adtr, Arknolia Strokelbean, Awonddy Big M, Bryan Harper, CJ Bradley, ColdBrewKrew, DanH&Cora, Daniel Cater, Drew Bar 100, Duane Crenshaw, Frog Kid, Gary Metzler, Gerald Armstrong, Joe Compton, the Renegade, John Zippay, Joseph Lightsey, Kalel Bama, Starscream, Matt Rossmeier, Mike Torian, NickY J, Shell, and Shell went from 50 to 100, so thank you to Shell. That's nuts. Sith Negan, who's also in the Hundy spot, SoCom Castle, Talk to Me Nice, The Bear 1322, and Z, the Reaper. Thank you guys for doing that. That helps out big time. If you want to become a producer, check out Patreon.
If you want to take the belt off of the Fiend, they should have Sister Abigail accuse him of sexual assault so that Bray Wyatt gets fired and has to vacate the title. Hashtag me too.
They me too Bray Wyatt and the Fiend. We're almost at our goal too. Yeah, almost there. Thank you, Buttstuff69.
And then it'll come out 6 months later with fake audio, Johnny Depp style, and then they'll vindicate the Fiend.
Come on, just let me put my finger in it.
How
Get
are your
away
toes?
from me.
How are your toes?
I like to play with your toes. You're gonna be my sister all night long. What the fuck, dude? Yeah, that he even referenced the sex call with Bray Wyatt by having the name Butt Stuff.
Butt Stuff.
Although that was the Undertaker call. Maybe he didn't mean to reference it. Yeah, when I did the Undertaker sex line, Undertaker was like, I like the butt stuff. And she's like, the butt stuff? I'm like, yeah. That was funny. Holy shit. Hell yeah. Here comes
Joe
another one.
Takeover is Sunday, so you're not doing review after? Also fuck Ryan Cabrera.
Oh, that's a great point. Yes, this Sunday will be the pay-per-view review, or the NXT review. That's right. That's right. We will be doing that. Maybe then I'll go into gaming or the wheel. I don't know yet. I don't know if I'm going to do it every other week or every week. I'm not sure yet, Alexa's sweet ass. I might do it every other week. We might do gaming, then that. Sith Negan had a good idea he sent me earlier, so he's got a good idea. I might do that. That's a good point.
Roman Reigns,
Oh, my God.
you're my man. Yeah, give me that fist inside my asshole. Give me that Superman punch in my rectum. Give me that Superman punch in my rectum. I don't care if your whole fist goes up my asshole. Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns.
Superman punching that girl, bro, and that sweet ass.
Wow. David Boniface. Thank you for the $14, man. He puts us over the 117%. Wow. Thank you, David, man. Thank you very much. You did Superman punch my dick in. And now we hit not only the 60, now we hit 70, man. Thank you very much for that. That's fucking awesome. I feel good now. I feel fucking terrible if we didn't hit the goal. I look stupid. But no, man, just like the Patriots when we lost. Titans. But no.
WWE's YouTube channel didn't even throw up anything yet.
Really?
about the Liv Morgan, whole situation. I don't see anything here.
Well, it was.
So I was like,
nothing.
I'll go back and watch it quick. Usually they upload snippets, but
it was
there's
so
nothing
quick.
yet.
Dude, it was practically a WWE.com like exclusive thing.
It must have been like a 30-second thing.
It was.
but-
It was like 2 seconds. It was nothing.
Yeah, I don't see anything here with Ruby Riott. They did put up extra footage of Matt Hardy after the attack, getting taken out.
He played the Shawn Michaels role well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, man.
And then they even put up a video of the broom challenge from today. The WWE stars, but that's it.
What up, Ed Blunt? We're all right, man. Oh, you always kind of freak out, Ed, don't you? You're always kind of trolly. I don't remember what you said, Ed, but yeah, you were saying a lot of fucked up shit, and finally I was like, all right, fuck this guy. Sorry, man. I was in a fucking mood on Friday too.
Well, I don't blame you either when you get people saying they'll be there and.
Well, normally I just buzz through it, but I was like, oh, like, it was me. I was sitting here with Drew, and I was like, and Leah was like, I might be on in an hour, and I was like, okay. And I was like, do I want to do an hour? Me and Drew are going to start monetize this for an hour? And I was just like, what the fuck? And so I just was in a bad mood. I don't know what it was. Like,
It just kind of snowballs from there.
But normally I'd be like, oh, whatever. I'll see people are going to show up in an hour. I'm going to fucking tear it up for an hour or something. Normally I'd be like, let's go. Fuck it. I'll handle the show for an hour or two. But yeah, I was just so fucking mad. It just like everything was wrong. And I was like, I didn't want to do it. People were talking me into it. Like, so I didn't want to do it. Like, I legit was like, I don't want to do the show. So that's why for the first hour I was like barely talking. And I was walking around the house like kind of like fucking shadow boxing shit and like doing stuff. And so after about an hour I came back and I was all right. So then the show got better and it was like, okay, here we go. But like for the first hour I was like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. Like, let's just take a break. Like, let's just not do the show. So yeah, it was crazy. But no, it ended up working out. But yeah, it was weird, man. It was weird that it just didn't work out. Like everybody that I had planned had to cancel or something like that, and I was just in a fucking crazy mood. But yeah, that happens on Monetize This. That's probably the 10th time that's happened. That's happened 10 times over. Even going back to episode like 18, I think it was episode 17 or 18 of Monetize This, or 20. It was one of those where like I think 3 people, like there was going to be 4 of us on, and 3 of them, everybody said, "Oh, something's up. I'm not going to be there." And it was like right as we went to go on the air, and I was like,
What else we got?
fuck.
Oh,
Like,
a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Oh shit.
Helicopter, Japan, bomb, hospital, skull, woman with headscarf, person, yarn, cow, T-Rex, pine decoration, fog, joystick, knobs, dynamite, amphora, prayer beads, flying saucer, moai, gold medal, boxing glove, boxing glove, boxing glove, aubergine, 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 cat, nervous sweat, kissing face, eyes, fire, skull, unamused face, rolling eyes face, flushed face.
Jesus. Good God, no! No! You can't do it! Sorry, Jake. How you feeling tonight, man? Anything else you wanted to mention here?
Yeah, thank you to David Vardy. He just sent me the Ruby Riott clip. It was actually good.
Yeah, it was all right.
All 50 seconds of it. She gave a really solid explanation. She doesn't know. She knows the real Liv, and you can take the pink out of your hair and the blue out of your tongue, but doesn't mean you've actually changed. There was no metamorphosis.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. It's a good start. I'm curious to see where it goes and how they fuck it up. That's what it comes down to. But thank you, David, for sending me that. Surprised I didn't put more emphasis on that. Throw it up on YouTube. They're more worried about a broom.
David, I'd love to go down there on you. If you're 18 over.
You had what was the last bit of news? I saved it before, but Eric Bischoff said in an interview that Paul Heyman doesn't have creative control on Raw. Anybody thinks he does? You're kidding yourself. I know Paul doesn't. No one does.
A little bit of the
only
bubbly.
guy that has creative
Want some
control,
bubbly?
and we
Look at
all
this
know
stuff.
who that is.
I didn't pause the donation.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Kill yourself, big fuego faggot. Go fill me up a cup of water, you water boy faggot.
Wow. Some battle going down between Deoro and Big Fuego.
Uh-oh. They're fighting. Sorry, I'm reading. I didn't see the donation.
No,
pop
my
up.
bad. Yeah, it just bulldozed over you.
Yeah, it's all right.
Try to read it again because nobody heard anything you said.
Gallo de Oro.
The way the white
Fighting
man
with
says
Big
it.
Fuego.
The way the white guy says it, man.
Yeah, that's right. So Eric Bischoff said, Paul Heyman doesn't have creative control on Raw. Anybody that thinks he does is kidding themselves. I know Paul doesn't, and neither does anybody else. There's one guy that has creative control. We all know who that is.
Damn.
Obviously talking about Vince there, but pretty poignant stuff. I know he goes into further detail about it. This is some of the stuff I was going to bring up the other day on Out of Nowhere, but he's, Bischoff is becoming more brazen and coming out a bit more with what he has to say. So he's being a little bit more forthcoming.
Right.
With his time recently with WWE, that short tenure that he had. And they really did make him, a sacrificial lamb. So it's unfortunate. He was handled poorly, I feel.
Yeah, no, absolutely he was.
So Paul might have a say in things, but it's very minimal, and that's what we've been hearing a lot. And it seems to be backed up by some of the things we say. So I believe it. I mean, we've said it forever. Vince is the final say, and until that changes, we're not going to see, any change come about on the week-to-week show.
I mean, yeah. I mean, dude, no one's going to change. It's just the same shit every week. It's the same old bullshit every single week. It's stupid. And it's like they have the good ideas sometimes, and they have some things that work out, but what they're doing doesn't work. And the fact of the matter is this correlates with the network stuff that we talked about and with the stuff we heard on the network. The fact of the matter is we thought the network was at 2 million viewers, was at 2 million subscribers. And the reality was it was at 1.8, and there was 300,000 freeloaders. Now, the reality is there's 1.3 million subscribers to the network with 70 or something freeloaders. So the network is way down, way the fuck down. So down that they're flirting with the idea of selling their pay-per-views to Amazon or to Netflix or something like that, or to having it be you have to pay for it on the network. So you have a $9.99 network of access to everything, and pay-per-views don't become accessible for 30 days, new pay-per-views, free, or part of the $9.99, and you have to pay $29.99 or $19.99 to watch the pay-per-view on the WWE Network. So if the pay-per-view is going on that Sunday, you have access to everything on the network except the new pay-per-view that's airing live. You have to pay $29.99 for that right there. So it's on the network. You got to hit the button and then pay. So there's all these different ideas. Or the network gets shut down and they bring their library to Amazon or Hulu or wherever. Or they bring the network and convert the app over to Amazon and that stuff. Similar to how the CBS app, you can actually watch the CBS app, but you can just watch it on Amazon. So I could see them doing that. But the reason why we're even in these talks, the reason why we're not talking about the growth of the network and being like, hey, shareholders, you're going to love it. We were at 1.8 million subscribers last year, 2 years ago. Now we're at 2.5 million. And we're seeing,
because people might buy in for a cheaper option than
but
pay-per-views.
No, not just that. People are buying it. People would be buying it because the fans are watching it on TV. Of course the fucking network numbers are lower. The TV numbers are lower. Back when they were at 1.8 million subscribers on the network, back then, you had 2.7 million people watching every week. 2.7 million people were watching your shows, Raw especially. 2.7.
Plus, there was 750,000 people 700,000 probably, that tuned in faithfully every week for NXT. And once they took that to USA, there were people that went ahead and said, I only care about NXT, and got rid of the network.
Right.
And that has, I've seen a good chunk of people say that. So
yep.
I bet you they lost, not a huge amount, but a substantial amount.
I'd say 300,000 people were like, fuck this. So that's 3 right there. So that brings it to 1.6. But the other 4 are missing still because they're just not watching. They're not watching wrestling right now. So they're not thinking, oh, the network, or, oh, I want to go back and watch that old thing. If WWE was smart, they would constantly show throwback clips a lot. Like, I'm talking about a lot. I'm talking about every 1 hour on Raw, they should be doing a This Day in History or Throwback Monday. You know, obviously, here's our Throwback Monday. Here's our Throwback three stars throwback where we show an old event, and they show something that you would be like, oh yeah, remember that? They show something from 1986. They show something from 1996. They show something from 2006. And that way, the nostalgic person watching goes, oh, yeah, fuck, I remember that. Oh, God, I want to watch that match again. Or, I'd like to watch WrestleMania 8 again, or 9, or 10, or 15, or whatever the fuck. And then they're like, and then immediately after that, so much of these moments on the WWE Network right now, everything we've ever done in WWE at your fingertips with just a click. Like, I
would have stars at Stamford all the time. Every single one of them. You got an off day? Come here. Come give me your 5 favorite matches. Come pick an episode of Raw and sit with it and do a commentary on it. Come sit and pick out your favorite pay-per-views. Come sit and talk about a match that you were in and what happened and give me a funny story. I would get, you know what I mean? Everybody I could.
Yep.
Mandatory. If I was Vince, I'd make it mandatory. But like, guess what? You're all going to Stanford once a week, and we're doing this.
How about behind the match?
Push the network. No, who's going to buy the network to see Corey Graves and Carmella in a car for 15 minutes?
Yeah, fuck that.
For ride along.
They're fucking
like,
retarded.
It's a funny little segment, but that's a YouTube thing. That's a free thing. People don't want to watch that. They're not going to tune in for, is it fun to be able to go back and have everything categorized? The search is a bit better. Yeah. So I can see older stuff, and some of the stuff you couldn't find, but a lot of stuff, if you're really looking for it, you can find elsewhere, YouTube and sites of the such. So it's still 100% necessary either. And then you could still get streams of the pay-per-view. So give us stuff we can't get anywhere else as well. I mean, they've done that somewhat. But now they finally, after all this time, 5 years later or something like that, they have that Ruthless Aggression show coming out. That should have been out year 2. The first year they covered the Attitude Era. Year 2, they should have been, they need to capitalize on all these things. I don't know why they have such little content. It doesn't cost much to get they had that stupid prank show. It was funny, Swerve.
Well, they got mad at that. That was good, but the wrestlers got mad.
Yeah, because they got in trouble because people were getting paranoid. But I'm saying, that was the most custom content they had at that point in time. So you have enough to follow guys around with cameras to prank people, but you can't ask them about backstage stories and matches. And come on.
Well, I think the idea of someone sitting down, like sit down with a guy and be like, what was your give me your 5 most, give me 2 of your favorite matches ever, and then give me 2 of your, 2 of the matches where it was just awful, or the most worst stuff was going on. Yeah, and I'd be like, all right, now we're gonna narrow it down to 1 and 1, and we're gonna have you record 2 of these, and they're gonna sit with a microphone mic'd up, and they're gonna watch the matches, and they're gonna turn the volume down, and they're gonna be like, just go through the match and tell us about what was going on before, what went on during, and what went on after, and break kayfabe, and have the guy sit there and go over the match and the feud and what was going on, what they asked of you, where something went wrong. See, right there, I did this, and I wanted to do these other things. Like, that type of stuff is what people will pay for, not the other stuff. By the way, I have a nice shot of Teddy Goods uploaded a video. Obviously, I called Top Rope Promotions match a couple years ago at Summer Showdown, and I'm sitting at the desk and I call the match, whatever, and they edited it. They had all the camera shots and everything. Some of you guys saw the match, but he just released a fan cam version of it. So a crowd shot, and at one point the camera pans around to the crowd, and you can see me, and I have the greatest bald spot, ever, like right here, on commentary. Look at the top of my head. It's just look at that. Look at that. Look at that fucking bald spot on my head. That's hilarious. They panned over, and I'm like, oh, there I am, and then I see that. I'm like, oh, there's the bald spot. I'm getting the fucking. By the way, clean shaven there. But yeah, that's hilarious that bald spot, that bald spot's there. Oh my god, dude, that is fucking just killing me. It's just too funny. I don't know why I saw it and I was like, oh my god, that's really funny, because this bald spot on my head is just shining. It's fucking shining. Let me see if I can
slow it down.
Just laugh at this. I can't believe somebody caught that. Oh man! But anyway, where's the ladder spot? Because that's awesome. Oh, here it is. Devil's Reject. I don't know if this guy came over to hold the ladder because he's like a fan that knows like the ladder was moving, or if he was spotting on purpose. But it's kind of funny.
Yeah, what great timing there. Just to hold on to it as it starts to shift.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a fan just being like, I better hold this, or if that was a real person.
Being awesome.
Yeah, I can't tell. But either way, good call. I mean, usually you tell fans, don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. They set it up. Don't touch it. If you're a fan, like, don't touch it. But I get it, because like the railing was moving. People started kind of like pushing on the railing, and it was shaking before that. So if he's a fan that did that, I mean, he's a knowledgeable guy. Good call on holding the ladder. I mean, but I mean, God, the worst would have been if fan tried to help and accidentally like push the ladder, and he comes over and just fucking lands on his back on that concrete rug. Like, holy fuck, that would have sucked.
That would suck bad.
Donations rolling in. Jake, you want to go to bed, man? It's pretty late.
Yeah, I'll get out of here in a minute so you can take some calls.
If you want to hang, you can stay. I'm cool. I'm just don't want you to stay up, like, die. Like,
No, I know a few people said they wanted to call in as well, so I'll let them call in. WWE did announce that the Big Show is the next person featured on the Broken Skull sessions with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I couldn't give a
the
shit.
Big Show.
I couldn't give a shit.
I actually want to hear that because I mean, Austin seems to get quite a good story out of most of the what he's done so far. It was great with Kane and the Undertaker, so I'm curious to hear some interesting stories, hopefully from Paul White.
Well, the Big Show blocked me, and I hate him.
Yeah, personal bias aside. We've also heard that WWE is still trying to surprise people for the entrance for the Hall of Fame. So they gave 2 big announcements right off the bat to help sell tickets. And then the idea, according to different news sources, is that they want to surprise the remaining inductees, similar to what the NFL did with Jimmy Johnson.
Oh.
So.
Oh, like show up at the house or show up at where they're working now or show up whatever and be like, you're in the Hall of Fame.
You're in the Hall of Fame. So
that's a good idea. I like the idea of that, like real raw reaction.
If that's true, I'm not against it. Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's not, if it's like it's faked or whatever, then fuck that.
Yeah. Right? But usually by now we would have pretty much the whole lineup. Usually, no? I mean, it feels like years prior, past the Rumble, we pretty much knew everybody.
Right.
And right now, just kind of silence. Mum's the word. We just know about the NWO and Batista. So if they're really inducting the NWO, they got like, 50 people to induct? So
yeah, the real. I mean, maybe they could read all the members.
Yeah, they should do something where they acknowledge, in the video packages, hopefully at least, or something going up. But
well, we're not giving out a ring to 68 people.
No, they can't.
They should have stated the original members of the NWO, but where's Eric Bischoff?
Yeah, Bischoff should be there, and DiBiase, and I mean, it goes on.
Well, DiBiase is chasing his kid for money or something right now.
Yeah, exactly. And then they did announce that the Fatal 4-Way winner, Carmella, who's now the #1 contender, her match against Bayley will be this Friday on SmackDown.
What do you think about Carmella and her? We didn't talk about that at all on SmackDown because that just seems like what? Like who cares?
It seemed like an odd choice. Everyone thought Naomi was winning because it is February. Black History Month is back around. And WWE kind of seemingly does that usually.
They did it last year. They didn't do it this year.
Yeah, not this year. They've done it several years. So I actually thought Naomi would have won, not even despite History Month and all that stuff, because she just returned and it seemed like they were showcasing her for this type of big moment. But maybe they're saving that for Mania.
No, I think they gave her
to be seen.
I think they gave her push once in her hometown, and
that was it.
And they were like, "Yeah, she's a good asset and stuff," but nah.
Yeah. Yeah, it just seemed odd. They had this huge fanfare moment for her to return, and then that was it. But
I think they're going to give.
Makes sense just to parade her out in front of your home, and then that's it. So, Carmella's an interesting choice because she's kind of a safer choice for the middle right now. They can always go back to an Alexa Bliss. They can go back to Lacey Evans.
It tells me the match doesn't matter. It's going to be a pre-show.
Yeah,
nothing.
it'll just be, it's going to be this Friday on SmackDown now. So originally it was rumored that it might happen at the Saudi show.
Wait, I thought this was #1 contender for WrestleMania.
No, this is just for this Friday's match at SmackDown. The championship match is now this Friday on SmackDown.
Did they not announce it as a Mania thing?
No, I was confused as well. So, because originally I thought it was going to be for the Showdown, Super Showdown in Saudi.
What the fuck was I thinking then?
Because it was very confusing by the way they worded it in how they presented it when she won. So,
I thought the setup was that it was the match to find out who's facing Bayley at WrestleMania.
No, it was just the number one contendership for. I thought it was for Saudi, but it's not. That was the original, rumor going around. It's just for this Friday's SmackDown.
Maybe they're gonna put the belt on Carmella as the heel. Maybe they just Bayley sucks. Get the belt on
Carmella's
somebody
a
else.
face right now, so I don't know if they.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, if she was a heel, then I'd say yeah, but with her being a face, I think Bayley will hold it.
Fuck.
They'll do one more for Elimination Chamber.
There's too many belts, man. Guys, come on, WWE. Get rid of your belts. There's too many fucking belts. Nothing means anything.
Charlotte's going to challenge Rhea Ripley. We know that. And
we know that.
Tied up with Shayna and Becky.
Let's play it again. We got to play it again, Jake. Wait.
Maybe that's just how the Queen operates.
Or maybe you just enjoy being a royal pain in my...
Before I answer...
Maybe you just enjoy being a royal pain in my... Whoa. And then Jerry Lawler goes, man. Can we throw Jerry Lawler off a bridge? Can we... Jerry Lawler is acting like it's the Attitude Era with everything they're saying. And he's acting bad, and it's annoying. Jerry Lawler is awful. He's like a... I don't even know. Get the commentary. Oh my God, it was horrible tonight. I mean, It's not as bad with Nosferatu's gone. He sounded like the dick sucker of Michael Cole. Tom Phillips is generic guy number 8. I don't really like him anymore, but he's better than Vic Joseph was. I'd give Vic Joseph a 3 out of 10 on that Raw commentary, and I would give Tom Phillips a 5 or 6 out of 10, but he'll never be a special name. He'll never be someone that I remember or give a shit about. He'll never be a guy that fucking... I didn't like Michael Cole and Taz. I didn't like them as commentators together. But I would give Michael Cole and Taz a 7 out of 10. Above anything that's happening now or that's happened in the last 5 years. And that's fucking hilarious because I was angry then, thinking the commentary wasn't that good. But oh well, it's pretty good. Oh well, okay. But this is a fucking nightmare. Let me go to the donations.
Give me a hell yeah! Bomb, Japan, bomb, Iraq, smiley face, clinking beer mugs, Santa Claus, United States dollar, waste basket, tennis, fishing, jockey, flushed face,
This
ladybug,
smells like my vagina.
centipede, honeybee, dog, dragon, ox, mouse,
This
pig,
smells like
tiger,
my vagina.
octopus, spiral shell, ram, goat, blowfish, leopard, cat, tulip, four-leaf clover,
Everybody
sunflower,
kept-
rose,
Get in there!
ear of rice, chestnut, evergreen tree, full moon with face, new moon with face, high voltage sign, rainbow, ocean wave, scorpion, crab, national park, unicorn, cucumber, owl, octopus, fox, dolphin, bat, gorilla, butterfly, rhinoceros, eagle, duck, pig, dog, wolf, cat, mouse, hamster, frog, penguin, turtle, snake, bird, water buffalo, tiger, rabbit, dragon, Great Britain, Russia, Italy, France, mosque, USA, jack-o'-lantern, Christmas tree, salamander, slot machine, petrol pump, poop, green heart, blue heart, eyeglasses,
This
sunglasses,
smells like my
kiss mark,
vagina.
ring, golfer, weightlifter, thought bubble, dollar bills face, bed, Mrs. Claus, shower, cigarette, gun, artist palette, saxophone, guitar, American
Everything you can buy
football,
in the Wuhan
golf
market.
flag, video game, fishing, surfer,
This smells
chips,
like my
hamburger,
vagina.
slice of pizza, pot of food, steaming bowl, baby bottle, spaghetti, cooked rice.
What else we got? Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Lil Fuego boy, cat.
Lil Fuego boy. Whoa. De Oro. Wow. They're really going after each other, man. They are really going after it now. Oh, my God.
I want a candle of what Drew's vagina smells like.
Ugh.
Put that on the Goop Marketplace.
Oh.
That'll be a bestseller.
This smells like my vagina.
All right, Drew. Settle down, Drew.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
Robert Heller.
What are your thoughts on Killer Cross? Where will he end up? And how would you debut him?
Well, Killer Cross, I mean, isn't he going to NXT? Robert Heller, thank you, man.
He's definitely signed.
Killer Cross is,
I thought he was going to NXT.
I think he's going to NXT. I mean, I think he's a badass big dude who kicks ass, and he can talk.
Certainly got a lot of talent.
He's a little bit of a lughead. Like, you know what I mean?
But they need that right now.
Yeah. But he's, you know, I don't know. He's a big badass dude. He's better than Ryback was, though. So
that's a great point.
Yeah. I mean, I think.
How do you feel about Ryback? I don't want to say crying about, but complaining over his trademark issues with WWE, saying that he has to spend all this money and he's begging for them just to let it go. But it wasn't like something he came in with. They made that name for him, no?
Let me explain something. Ryback is a delusional fuck. We know this. We know this from all the examples of his fights with me and all these other things. I'm not surprised that somebody else or whoever came up with this, with his name and his idea and his identity, I'm not surprised that he just wants to keep everything for himself. He's a weird fuck. He doesn't have... There's a reason why he's not married. You know what I mean? There's a reason why he's not married. There's a reason why you don't see the same girlfriend with him every time or at some point or whatever. The guy's a psycho. I can't explain this enough to you. There's a reason why he's lost. Every co-host he's ever worked with is gone. I mean, like, I have my issues with that, but, I mean, you've been here for a while. Jay, you know, other people have been here for a while.
He had the name in OVW, but again, OVW is still a WWE property at that time.
I can understand that that's his identity now, so he wants to keep it. But that is...
Without WWE, they made him famous. Like, you don't see people being able to keep their names unless they trademarked it leaving.
Who made Ryback? Who made the idea? Who made it? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Even if he came up with it in the company, it still becomes the company's. But
if he came into OVW or had it on the indies beforehand, you know, kind of thing, but...
He should be Ryback.
I thought he wasn't an indie wrestler. I thought he just came in through the whole Tough Enough thing, and in OVW they created this. Because Ryan Reeves was in the Tough Enough. I remember Al Snow bitching about him.
Yep.
About him eating too much. I remember that clip burned in my brain. Al Snow's like, all this guy does is fucking eat.
So they called him Ryback.
There's Ryback being like, I'm a big dumb asshole.
So where's the podcast or where's the explanation of who came up with Ryback?
I don't know. That's what I was trying to... I didn't know if you knew.
I don't remember hearing a podcast. I wouldn't believe him. So if he says it, like, I don't believe him, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I would want...
So he should have came up with, like, Rye Blast, like, Rye Breed. Like someone said, Michael in the chat said Rye Breed. Like, I am a Rye Breed. I am a Rye Batch.
Michael says he came up with it on his own, but even if you come up with it on your own, then trademark it yourself when you go into... you know, when you go into business...
If he came up with it on his own, here's the thing. If you came up
Even
with...
if you come up with it, it doesn't matter.
If you...
Did you buy the trademark? No, you know, so that's the...
But it means something to me because his crying about it matters then to me, depending on how you look at it. But if you create a name outside of WWE, they won't probably use that name when you come into WWE. But if you're
which is true as well. So,
but if you're in OVW, and
how many people had to have changes? Kevin Steen, he wanted the Steen, and then they're like, oh no, they wouldn't go with it.
Ryblast.
So it became Kevin Owens.
Rycrest.
It just.
I'm gonna be Rampage.
And even people operating under their real name gets changed. And often, little things happen, and
I'd change my name to the Ring Warden.
I'm the Ring Warden. Let's go.
I mean, War Machine turned to War Raiders to the Viking Experience to. We've seen it so many times, so I'm just not sure. But even if he did come up with it, like you go in as Joe Cronin, obviously not your name, but you go in as Joe Cronin, that's going to be your name.
Machine.
And you don't have that trademarked, or you don't sign it into contract as that being yours, and they put money into it then they own it. It's.
See, if I was Ryback, I would say Ryback sometimes a little bit at the beginning, but I'd call myself like Death Machine.
I'm Death Machine. What's up? I'm fucking Death
And we know people have left and reinvented themselves.
Yeah.
Into new names and new gimmicks and Christ,
I don't blame him though. I get it, dude. He was Ryback for what, 12 years or 10 years? Not 12, 10 years.
No, it wasn't even that long because he went through
in OVW. He was in OVW in 2009 or 8.
Yeah, and then he went into their NXT.
But he was Ryback then, so that's
he was still Skip Sheffield, wasn't he?
Well, no, you said he was Ryback in OVW, didn't you?
That's what someone in the chat said. They said he had the Ryback name in OVW.
Well, wait a minute.
But when he went to NXT, it was Skip Sheffield.
Well, no, but look, I've got a picture of him in exclusive footage of Ryback in OVW. Take a look at his pants.
Yeah,
Ryback.
Yeah. I'm not saying
I know they tried to change him into Skip Sheffield.
Yeah.
But so if he came into OVW and they had nothing for him at the beginning, they were like, we want you to wrestle, do whatever you want. I'm gonna be this thing. I got this envision of Ryback. I'm Ryback. I'm, whatever. And he's Ryback. And then they're like, listen, that Ryback shit you came up with is dumb. We want you to be this guy, Skip Sheffield. He's kind of like a big guy, but he's comedy and he eats and all these other things you like to eat and all this stuff. And then he eventually is like, just let me do the Ryback thing. Fuck that. Like, I'm a big fucking beast. Okay, and then he does the Ryback thing. So now I get that he believes that really, because he then is the one who believed
Ohio
in it.
Valley was the training for WWE.
Right.
And that's how many stars came out of there.
Right. Batista, Brock Lesnar, John Cena eventually went there.
Yeah, exactly. So
John Cena came from Boston, but he went to OVW. A lot of people think it's where you started the training. It's where you went to train. Some people showed up in OVW who had never wrestled before. Some people showed up in OVW who had been wrestling in other places, and then they were sent there.
That's where they learned how do you wrestle in the WWE.
WWE style, yeah.
Drew said he never had that. So the very first match he ever had, the referee is yelling at him, look at the hard, and he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he had no idea about the hard camera and stuff like that. That's why they have NXT and, for people that don't have that experience now.
Right.
They don't just throw people out like they used to. That's the plus of NXT and changes. So.
But yeah, Ryback is kind of a nutcase.
Excuse me. I was just curious if you knew. Speaking of people you have history with, I couldn't help before. Somebody sent me a clip and I was listening to it, and I die laughing every time Cornette says Kenny Olivier. He won't call him Omega. He goes and he just shits all over him. He tore him apart the other day, and it was just fucking hilarious.
Yeah, dude, I think Cornette's hilarious. I know that, I don't believe everything. Obviously, he's fucked around.
No, yeah,
but he's hilarious.
A lot of it's entertainment.
Dude, I listen to Cornette every day. Every day I put on a Cornette rant. It's funny.
It's so damn entertaining, though.
I wish somebody had heard a podcast with Ryback or with people at OVW who could tell me who came up with Ryback and all that stuff, because I think it means something. If he came up with it himself and nobody believed in it, and then they eventually used it, and then that became him, I mean, you are trading that off. You're giving that to WWE. You're giving that your creation in WWE. So I don't know.
Yeah, you're giving that to them so you can wrestle.
Blastmaster. I'm going to be Blastmaster on the Independence.
That was the same argument with the broken gimmick. It was like Matt Hardy came up with it. Give it back to him, because he had it, and it was his own creative thing that he wrote, but they owned it. So really, you couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, and
and it sucks. But the thing is like Matt used that to reinvent himself. So when he went to WWE, they still had changed it and became Woken. So it was like, okay, I don't understand why he couldn't still manage to transition into something different. But
I'm going to be Rye Pork. You want to be up against me? I'm Rye Pork.
Dude, I think it'd be great if he became Rye Pork and he came out eating like fucking like pork to the ring. Like that type of stuff would have been hilarious on the indie scene.
You want to see Rye Pork devour it?
Like Big
Watch
Bacon.
What happens. Want to see Rye Snatch? You want to see Rye Tard?
Rye Tard.
What else we got?
I'm Rye Tard.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
I tweeted Ribby Hardy thoughts on the Lita chants. Because you're known to be a snowflake who easily gets triggered, and then she went private on Twitter, then she blocked me. Skull reminds me when Casey Catanzaro blocked me because I said Ricochet likes peach, left pointing finger.
Wow, El Gallo. De Oro. The way the white man says it. Wait, Rebby Hardy went private on Twitter?
Did she?
Maybe because everybody was hitting her up like, yeah, she did. She went private on Twitter.
Give me a hell yeah!
Getting harassed.
They will never end the network, I don't believe. It admits failure. I could see the bigger PPVS on Amazon and smaller ones stay on WWE Network. Legends House 2, that NXT show never got second seasons and should have.
Right.
The 24 and Chronicles are good.
I agree with that, Alexis Sweet Ass. But yeah, also the NXT show, Proving Grounds or Breaking Grounds or whatever, that was really good. I went back and watched that a second time the other day. Why did they never do that again? That was great. But maybe a lot of people didn't watch it even though it was good. I mean, that's possible. But yeah, I think Rebby went private because everybody was harassing her about, like, oh, you hear the chants? It's like, yeah, I heard the chants, you fucking marks. It's like, get over it. So she's probably like, fuck you.
Corwin says he's making a big deal because he changed his legal name to Ryback.
Right. Which, who else did that? We know, the Warrior. Same thing.
So maybe he'll have it. But the reason he's arguing against it is because he wants them just to give up the trademark. He doesn't want to pay for the legal fees. He said it'll cost him like $200,000.
Everyday Jam. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, about your uncle, ma'am. That's awful, dude. I'm sorry. I didn't know that. Everyday Jam. Yeah.
Oh God, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just read that in the chat. That's terrible.
All my fucking uncles and aunts are alive. And I'm thinking about, that makes me think, like, I've been lucky. You know what I mean? Like, we talk about this all the time, but again, all my family, except for my grandmother died years ago, but all my family, nobody has died yet from my fucking 12 uncles and aunts. And everybody else, and my mom is going to be 69 in March. 69.
Yeah, she is.
And I've just been lucky because I'm gonna be a mess soon. So I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry about your uncle, dude. That sucks. Like it's gonna suck when that starts happening.
I mean, what do our fathers and Old Milk have in common? They're both expired. Hey, it's like.
Your dad was a lot more rapey than your dad was way rapier than my dad, though.
Oh, absolutely. Your dad was a good father. Mine was a magnificent piece of trash.
My mother's boyfriend, though, was rapey.
Yeah, so
like
got that in common.
Him and your dad would have gotten along.
Oh, I'm sure they were best of friends. Some shitty dive bar down the line.
They would have molested each other, is what I think.
Oh yeah. While some homeless people watched.
Jesus.
They all teamed in.
Me and Jake are going to have a new little podcast on Patreon.
Yeah, baby. Down and dirty.
And I forget what it is. I hope I recorded it or wrote it down somewhere because the other day I had I had it all lined up, and now I can't quite remember what the podcast on Patreon was going to be. It was such a...
Maybe we do need that producer.
Yeah, I think I left myself a voice note on it.
Well, let's hope.
Because...
If not, we'll figure it out.
I mean, like, I was like, that's great. And then now I don't remember. Hold on a minute. Give me a second. Because it's driving me crazy.
A lot of people seem to think that Matt is definitely going to be the exalted one by what he's saying in the latest Free the Delete promo, that he put out on YouTube. Him and Vanguard One are having a bit of an argument in the beginning, and quite the discussion. Seems like that's what he's hinting at. So that'd be interesting, especially knowing that they wanted Marty and knowing that he can't do it, and basically refused to. So Matt's a good choice, especially with the broken character. I think it could be a lot of fun. I think it would be really interesting.
What the fuck?
We plan the spot all day. I want you to jam it in. Oh, it's in your bunghole.
What the fuck, dude? What are you doing?
It's in your bunghole. I want it jammed in my bunghole.
We have lift off!
Still here to support you, Joe. Been going through a lot, and my uncle got killed when he was struck by 2 cars yesterday.
Jesus.
But I'm always watching and supporting you no matter what,
yeah.
even if I'm dealing with a lot right now. Keep up all you do.
Wow, man. Everyday Jam. What in the fuck, dude? Thank you for $200.
Crazy. I'm so sorry to hear about the news, but...
That is terrible. Like, cars? Jesus Christ. I mean, that is awful, man. Wow, dude. Thank you for the 200, though. That's crazy. And, yeah, it's just sorry to hear about that. Yeah, hit us up. You ever need to talk or whatever.
Absolutely.
People in the community. Shit, I can't believe you just did that. But, especially at the end here. We'd hit the goal. But now we get to see Kenny Omega stick the flag in his bunghole.
Kenny Olivier.
God damn it.
I gotta get a sound clip of just that first shit that Cornette said about him earlier. I choked laughing.
Everyday Jam. Man, yeah, thanks, dude. Yeah, that's crazy. And yeah, get a clip of Cornette saying Olivier. He says it all the time, so.
No. What he said about him today. It was like a short little sweet insult.
Oh.
He's like, you should have been farted, tethered, dragged out, and had your fist up your ass. Like, how he goes into all those great analogies. Like, it was so just potent and fucking venomous. But I gotta go back and find it. It's great.
Jesus, man, that was crazy. That surprised the shit out of me.
That
was like a wrestler.
Totally unexpected.
That was like a wrestler coming out of nowhere, returning or something like that. Like, cause I'm like that fucking music. That was like, dude, that was like Stone Cold.
Yeah,
That was crazy.
I look up and I see Kenny sticking a flag up somebody's ass.
That was crazy. Still looking for.
You're still looking for the voice.
Still looking
memo?
for that clip, yeah.
3 days later, you'd be like, shit, that's what it was.
What am I talking about? Listening to this clip, I don't know what you're talking about. I got my voice clip telling myself to get Dr. Earl to interview people.
Where was he,
I have so many sound clips from over the years in this voice thing that now I'm back 3 years ago. The next voice clip is from 3 years ago from somebody.
Holy hell.
Fuck. Nothing. I got Leah snoring.
Here you go.
Maybe I'll put Leah. I'll put Leah snoring up on the Patreon.
There you go. Just unedited.
Here's my wife snoring on the Patreon. No, but I think it was something around the lines of like me and you could go over like our the week or something like that. Like we'd just go over some of the stuff of the week, but it was better than that, and I forget what the idea was. And we put it up on Patreon.
Hell yeah, it'll hit you eventually.
Yeah,
I'm always down.
Or just only like answer questions basically. So I think what we're gonna do is this week. I'm gonna put it up on Patreon probably later tonight or something. It's just gonna be a Q&A. It's gonna be like questions from only you guys about what you want to hear about, and me and Jake will just do a show on your questions only on Patreon.
Yeah,
so
that'd be great.
all right, so
Get
we'll
some
do
real
that.
juicy ones in there.
Yeah, and then we'll come up with another gimmick or whatever. It'll be a nice podcast. It'll be up on Patreon. You can download it in audio, all that stuff. So yeah, that's coming to Patreon. So all the questions will be posted on Patreon probably tonight, because now that I think that is what I wanted to go with, which was just a full Q&A type of deal. But yeah, if you want to get out of here, man, head on out.
All right, yeah. Let some people. I know some people wanted to call in. If you're going to stick around, everybody, I will see you Wednesday for the AEW show. It's going to be a good one. I'm excited. So we'll see what happens then, and follow up all the lashings that Cody received. Hopefully, they keep the ball rolling. But I will see you all then. Everybody have a good night. Stay sexy. Joe, kisses. Take care.
Bye, Jakey. Getting Jakey with it. Jakey. Yo, 219's on the phone. Hello.
Where am I living?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Right now.
Oh, my God. Everyday Jam. Oh, my God, dude. My fucking head just popped out of my fucking body, dude. Oh, my God, dude. That fucking scared the hell out of me. Oh, my good God, dude. Oh, my God. I muted the caller, too, because I just freaked the... Oh, my God, dude. Everyday Jam just scared the shit out of me. I'm dead. Oh, my God. Thank you, Everyday Jam. Unknown caller, hello.
Hey, Joe, what's up?
What's up, man?
First off, I just want to say sorry for Everyday Jam's loss.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, I had a question, though.
Yeah.
When Shayna Baszler came up like that, I mean, with the blood, that reminded me of a black guy going up on Drew's wife.
Oh. Oh, no. Oh, man, come on. Oh. No! Oh, my God, dude. Drew's wife? You said that about Drew's wife? I said, no! How does he always get through? Oh, God. I'm sorry, Tara.
This smells like my vagina.
Oh, God, Drew's wife. 219, hello.
219.
Yes, 219, you're live. On the Joe Cronin Show.
This is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Wow. Steve Austin's
What?
on the show.
What? What I say, Joe? I said Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You know, you sound like a fucking...
I sound like I'm gonna murder someone tonight named Joe Cronin.
I mean, dude, I don't think you could fucking stand up peeing by yourself. You sound like a coma patient with a trachea fucking cancer diagnosis.
Man, I sound like myself, man. I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin, bruh.
You sound like a black guy trying to be a redneck.
I am a black guy. I'm Stone Cold.
I knew it. Oh, my God. All right, well.
Stone Cold from a black city, Chicago. I got shot in the head, but I'm still alive. That's why I shaved my head bald.
Well, yeah, I mean, hey, he might be one of the only white guys that can pull it off. Usually white guys, they look stupid. Bald guys look good. Black guy, bald guys look good. But white guys with bald hair usually look dumb. But Stone Cold, you look cool, so that's okay.
You know what? You want to know what matters?
What matters?
Black lives matter more than me. I don't care about white lives. Stone Cold, all I care about is beer.
You can use it.
All right, thank you, Stone Cold. Wow. I mean, that was bad. I mean, there's been some calls, that have sucked, but that sucked so much that I came twice. 724, hello. Yo, 724, hello.
What up?
What's up, man?
What you up to, man?
Okay.
Everybody just kept pounding it on there.
Oh, my God. If you call and you say, what's up? What are you doing? What the fuck do you think I'm doing?
Give me a hell yeah!
Holy fuck, man. Everyday Jam, thank you for the 316. Yeah, that is Stone Cold. Stone Cold was here. 540 is on the phone. Hello, 540.
Hey, what's up, Joe? It's Deshaun Latimer again.
Oh, what's up, dude? How are you?
What's up? What's up? First I want to say RIP to Everyday Jam's uncle. Sorry to hear that. You never want to hear something like that happen to somebody. But my question, like, I think the biggest problem with WWE now is, like, it's missing its crossover appeal. Like, you know how, like, it was fun to go to school and talk about, like, the new wrestlers and what Triple H did or what Batista did, like, or what Stone Cold did in the previous night on Raw. Like, it was fun to go to school and talk about that. Now kids give a fuck less. And I think that's WWE's problem. They're missing a lot of crossover appeal because people really just don't give a damn anymore.
Yeah, I used to say this, that back when I was in school, from 1990, from about 1992 to 1997, or 96 especially, like, nobody gave a shit. I'd be in school, and if I mentioned anything about wrestlers or wrestling, people would be like, oh, yeah, like Hulk Hogan or something back in the day, yeah, whatever. And I'd be like, oh, no, but the new guy, this guy Shawn Michaels, and he's wrestling Bret Hart, and this is happening. They'd be like, Bret Hart, whatever, I don't know what the fuck that is. And you just felt like a loser for knowing wrestling. And then, like you just said, from about 1998... From 1998 to about 2008, maybe, like, you could talk about wrestling in school and people, like, talked about it. It was a thing. But now, it's, again, when you bring it up in school, I feel like people go, that sucks, that's gay, or isn't that fake? Or they say, oh, yeah, like, John Cena did that, or yeah, Stone Cold from back in the day, or that guy, The Rock, used to do that or something. Like, nobody know. Like, it's so bad. Like, so we're in that period of 1992 to 1997, but that was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was about 6 years. But we've been in this period of death for about 10 or 11 years.
And I think, like, if they could make SmackDown what it once was, because remember, like, that period from what was, like, 04, 03 to, like, I want to say, like, 08, SmackDown was, like, red fucking hot.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, SmackDown killed it then. Like,
Stereo and
it's weird because they kind of did create that competition that Vince always wanted, and when they did that, then he killed it. So it's like, what do you want?
And the Fiend versus Goldberg, like, everything is telling me that Goldberg's gonna win. It's just like
wow.
There's no way they will bury him versus the Fiend. Because if so, why the hell do they even have? Why not have somebody like, I don't know, Dolph or somebody just to bury him?
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, it is weird, but I'm going with the Goldberg gets his ass kicked, and they really make it so that, the Goldberg puts over the Fiend or whatever. I mean, I just can't believe they would do the other thing. I would be so shocked, man. Deshaun, man, thank you for the call. Good shit. I appreciate the shit out of you, bro. And I really appreciate you guys for being here tonight and for hitting the like button and for donating and for everything that you guys did all week and the fun we had Sunday and out of nowhere a couple weeks ago. And I really appreciate the shit out of that. I hope you can become a member or join below if you want to do that, so you can get the special icons and my dumb face and the belt and the middle finger and all the fun little shit there. But also the people that became patrons on Patreon, thank you. We're about 390 patrons right now. So we need to grow up. Maybe we get to 400 patrons in the next couple days. So if you haven't become a patron, that is the way to keep me existing besides donating. But it's also a way you get a behind-the-scenes look. So much shit is going down on the Patreon. Podcasts and shit that you can't hear on YouTube. So get on over there and check it out. There's so much over there for you. Me and Jake are going to be doing a Q&A show over there. Me and my wife's podcast is coming. We got my podcast with Tommy, Honestly Podcast, plus the Corrupted Podcast every week. Come listen to Justin Bailey on the Corrupted Podcast in the next couple weeks. We don't know if he's coming back or if we're going to switch a time or what's going on, so come on over there and check that out. There's so much shit on there to get into, so please check that out. There's so much content. 30 hours a month goes down on the Patreon. Not to mention the fucking, 80 hours a month or 100 hours a month that goes down on YouTube for free. So I want to thank Ghost 3600, Jake Link, also Jake Link, now one of doing a show with me on Patreon. That show is up in its entirety on Patreon. Ben Ashes became a $5 patron. Thank you to Ben. And thank you to Last Larry. Last Larry became a $10 VIP. So thank you to him. And tomorrow night we'll be live over on my other channel, Corrupted Nation. We'll be live with Throwdown, Tuesday Night Throwdown. Remember, Super Chats will not work on that channel because we're demonetized completely by YouTube. So the only way to support there is the live Streamlab donations down below and that kind of shit. So come on over there and just remember that. And we don't have ads over there. If you see an ad, I'm not getting paid for it. On the other channel. If you see an ad on this channel, it's okay. But if you see an ad on Corrupted, hey, that ain't my fucking ad. We're not getting it. So, whatever the reason is for that. Unknown caller, hello. Unknown caller.
What's up, Joe?
What's up, man?
What's up, man? It's Christopher Perez again.
Christopher Perez, what's up, dude?
Perez, what's up, dude? What's up, brother? I've been wondering, have you guys been staying healthy, your family and everything, man? The coronavirus and all this.
The coronavirus is running hard, man. It tried to take out my son, my youngest, but he lived through it. And so did Leah. And apparently I've lived through it as well, because I've really been infected. I'm still passing it on.
Oh, man, I'm sick right now, man.
Well, you just listen to me and you caught it, man. That's what it is. It's not. It's like I'm above on a different plane. Like, it's not just physical touch. I'm existing in a world where my just my being, you staring at me, my essence can travel through digital time and space. It can go right through your soul and enter your brain, and the coronavirus immediately infects you.
All right, I had a question though. Did you see the Boston Bruins and Blackhawks game that I was talking to you about?
Oh yeah, yep.
That where they got screwed over, and then we all the fans in the arena in the United Center, we all started chanting "Ref, you suck." All the Blackhawks fans, they got pissed off and they started chanting "Ref, you suck" because they screwed them over.
You talking about the overtime game, the overtime win?
Yeah, the overtime game. I went to that game.
Yeah, that was kind of whacked out. I mean, I was watching on a small. The only reason I didn't comment on it is because I was watching. Even if the Bruins were the ones that got screwed, I was watching on a small phone while doing something else. I forget what else was going on at the time. Something was going down at the same time, and I was keeping an eye on it. I think it was Wednesday, so I think we were doing AEW.
Oh, nowhere?
No,
maybe AEW. Yeah. Right.
So I think I was paying more attention to that. So I didn't see how the screw job went. I heard about it, but I saw the game, but I technically didn't because I didn't pay that much attention to see that. But no. So what happened with the refs exactly? Because I just knew. I'm like, okay, we won, cool, and I went on with my day. I didn't think, wow, that was fucked up, and well, we got the win, cool, but that was weird. I don't even know what happened.
Yeah, Drake Kagugula. I don't know how to say the dude's last name, but he had an incredible shot, but they didn't count his shot because he dropped down and he was sliding, and his hand. They said his hand touched the puck, but they didn't blow the play. They didn't blow it dead or anything. They allowed the play to go, and he shot it and he made it. But then they started conversing after the goal, and the referees got together and they started talking about it, and that's why I thought it was messed up, because they talked about it after the goal had already happened.
Let me take a look. After ref's reverse call, let me see. They reversed the
because
call.
even Jonathan Taze himself said that the ref told him that he made a bad call and that he missed that call.
I mean,
He screwed up, man.
I definitely. I mean, I see these all year long on even the Bruins. The Bruins will lose a couple games. No doubt will lose a couple games because the referees fucked up. Every team has like 1, 2, 3 or so games where the referees fuck something up. Usually a year.
Oh yeah, you want to know the funny story about that?
Yeah.
The official only officiated 83 NHL games when he was calling that, and when he called that, he only officiated 83 NHL games before then.
Really? And this was the OT play.
Yeah,
this is the OT goal, right, that you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the OT goal.
Let me go.
That's Wednesday night, February 5th, Wednesday night.
I found it. I see the Bruins goal. So it was a goal the Blackhawks scored that they took away. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
I
took it away. Yep.
So I completely missed it. Let me see. I wonder if they show it on this highlight video. Fuck, I'd love to see the play. I'm looking for it. Nobody. Hawks blown call. All right, here it is. I think this is it. No, there's the Bruins goal. Why the fuck aren't they showing the Hawks goal? Oh yeah, here it is. The puck bounced in behind. There you go. No, that was the first goal. That was the first legitimate goal by the Hawks. Then now they're showing the second goal by the Bruins, which is a legitimate one-to-one goal. So I'm still looking for this phantom goal though. Oh, here it is. Yep, this is the one though. The ref waves off. He's waving it off. Okay, I see him waving it off. So shot, but no one was near the goal. So wait a minute. Someone's coming down with the puck. He gets about the slot. He curls, drags, and shoots, and it's no goal. And the referee has his hand up for a penalty, and there's no goal. Is that something different?
No, you might be seeing something different.
That's from earlier. Okay.
The same game.
So they took away a wrist shot, like a wrist shot.
They took away one. It was, I don't know how to say the guy's last name. He's a Blackhawks player, but he's a young player.
Kagula,
I think his name is.
Yeah. Okay, so they took that away.
He scored, and so they took it away from him, I think.
All right, and then they show the Bruins. Well, I didn't see anything on that. I just saw there was a penalty. There was some kind of penalty call, so they took it away because the referee put his hand up. Like something happened, and the ref put his hand up. Oh, I see what happened. I see what happened now.
Oh, do you see it now?
Well, there was something behind the play happened. There was a race for the puck, and they're saying that. I think they're saying that somebody who played the puck got in the way of a Bruins player, so they called interference, I think. But yeah, they called interference, but it was a weak call, if that's what that is. I see a really piss poor interference call because the Bruins player, they interfered with each other, to be honest, is what I'm seeing. But this doesn't look as egregious to me as. I guess I kind of see how they could call interference, I suppose, but they both were battling. They're battling for puck position. The Blackhawks player gets in front of him. So he uses his left hand. Okay, he uses his left hand to shove the Bruins player out of the way, who's Krug. I think it's Krug. He shoves Krug out of the way, steps in front of him to get the puck, and then Krug trips him, and then he falls. And then Krug goes back. Krug goes with Kagula, or whatever that guy's name is. And now he's playing him with the puck, but he gets separation, and then he shoots and scores. But as that's happening, the referee already has his hand up for a penalty that he guess he's calling. It's a weak fucking interference penalty I don't know. That's not as I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna let that bother him. I'm not gonna let that bother me, man.
Yeah, that's not that. That's you see that all the time. Some kind of bullshit like that.
Yeah, man. You see that in all kinds of different sports, man. With all these referees, all these garbage referees, man.
Yeah,
in the NFL too. So
they should have let that play go. It was a battle. It wasn't that big a deal.
Yeah, man.
It was just a battle.
That was my first NHL game that I've ever been to. First hockey game.
Wow. But you know what? When you lose like that, though, it kind of makes you love a team more. When you feel like you're getting robbed and it's you against the world, even though it sucks and you're pissed, like over time that kind of builds up into. So then when they win, you feel so much better when they win. I mean, I only know that because the Bruins had never won in my entire life, and they didn't win until 2011, and I was like, I can die. Like 2011, we finally won. So yeah.
Well, I watched the what was it? 2013 was it the 2013 Stanley Cup with the Bruins and Blackhawks?
Right.
I think maybe it was 2013, right?
Yeah, because we won in 2011. In 2013, we lost. Yeah.
To the Hawks.
To the Hawks. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was watching highlights of a video of the Hawks and Bruins. It was in the Stanley Cup, and the Blackhawks scored 2 goals in 17 seconds to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, the Bruins took a dump on themselves all of a sudden at the end, and that was
that was in Boston.
Yeah, it was here. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this sucks. I was like, this blows. And then we lost in Game 7 last year. So, but I'm just happy I got that one Stanley Cup. I'm happy about that. By the way, and it was awesome too, because we were fighting the.
You might get one this year. You might get this one this
maybe.
year, man.
I'll never forget that Canucks one though, man, because the Vancouver Canucks, they were such cunts. Like they were assholes. Like when the Hawks won, I didn't really hate the Hawks. I was just like, oh, got beat by the Blackhawks. Oh well. But like when we were playing the Canucks, I was like, I swear to God, if the Canucks win, I'm gonna flip the hell out because I wanna see these guys' ass kicked. Like and so that was a big cup, man. I remember their guy was biting our players, and so then we just started beating the shit out of them. Like it was crazy. Go watch the Bruins and Canucks playoff games from 2011. Like there's just fucking.
2011.
It's awesome. Yeah. Like it's a fucking great time. But yeah, man, the Hawks. I just kind of was like, I like the Hawks. So it sucks though because the Hawks are an original 6 team, and they've got so many. All these original 6s have so many more championships. The Bruins have like fucking 6 or something, but the Hawks I think have like 11 or 10 or something.
Okay, I got a question now. Who did you hate? What team did you hate when you were little? Like when you were little, what team did you just dread to?
The same team the same team I hate now is the Montreal Canadiens. We hate the Canadiens.
Okay, it's the same team.
Oh God, I hate them. Yeah, go watch Bruins Montreal rivalry. We don't like them.
Okay, yeah. All right.
It's like Red Sox Yankees, but it's that's the hockey. That's one of the biggest rivalries.
Yeah, I remember when I was little, I used to hate Tom Brady. I used to hate Tom Brady because I'm a Colts fan from Indiana.
Yeah.
So
well, when I was a kid, God, it was like.
Yeah.
You're going back to. When I was a kid, I hated the Yankees and the Canadians and. I hated stuff like that. I just New York stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a diehard, man. You're a diehard fan.
Yeah, man. I could see Boston from my house back in the day. It's like you can see the city. I was in the city.
How many games have you been to?
Hockey games, probably like 20 hockey games, 4 football games. But I've probably been to 100 baseball games.
You better go to another one, man. They might make the Stanley Cup this year.
Maybe, yeah. And now I live an hour away. Now that I moved out to Foxborough, now I live right next to the Patriots Stadium, and I live an hour almost from the Bruins. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You live in Foxborough?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, that's awesome because you're a Patriots fan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a big Brady fan. Man, I used to hate Brady, but I respect him now, man. He's the greatest of all time. He's the GOAT.
Yeah, that's what happens with guys like that. You hate them, and then it's like I hated Jeter. I was Jeter takes a dick in his ass. Fuck Jeter, and then now it's like then after when he's about to retire, you're like, I love that guy was great. That's what happens. You're like that guy was actually great. I shit on him, but he was great. Right. Good call, man. Appreciate it. I hope the Blackhawks do better for you next year because the Blackhawks need a little fixing up. Thank you to everybody tonight, especially Everyday Jam for that 200 bomb and everything you guys have done. And to the king of the wheel from Sunday, the king of the ring, the king of the wheel, the king of the community. I will have to come up with a name. I'll put it up for voting. You guys can come up with the name of that title. Broken Lion, he won, baby. Broken Lion. That's it, man. I am out of here. I appreciate all you guys being here tonight. I'm going to go work on transferring my old files to my new computer and work on some of that stuff. And me and Jake are going to do a Q&A on Patreon this week, so that's coming up. Look for that. And we'll be live tomorrow with Tuesday Night Throwdown on my other channel, Corrupted Nation. Go over, subscribe. Also subscribe to Evil Spectrum 3. That's my gaming YouTube channel. But I also do some random other stuff on there from time to time. Plus Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, everything. It's all down below in the description. Just expand the description. You can see all my social media areas where you can DM me. I go live sometimes from Instagram and from other places. I post some family stuff on Instagram and some Joe Cronin Show stuff there too. But whatever. Find me everywhere. Let's have fun. Definitely check out the Patreon. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll probably have wrestling news going on in the daytime. And then by night I'll go over to Throwdown. Throwdown is a non-wrestling show. We don't talk about wrestling. It's more comedy and entertainment and whatever's going on in the world and whatever. So yeah, that's it. I'm Joe Cronin. You are sexy. And Shayna Baszler has period blood on her face. And Charlotte's a fucking idiot.
Maybe that's just how the queen operates.
Oh, maybe.
Or maybe you just enjoy being a royal pain in my...
Before I...
That is fucking awful.
Maybe that's just how the queen operates.
Or maybe you just enjoy being a royal pain in my...
Before I answer your question, Rhea,